там хуйня все получается.
Ну, блядь, похуй. Я знаешь, что думаю?
Че, будешь соджу?
Не буду.
Разбавить если.
Не хочу соджу.
Он охуел.
Я знаешь, что думаю? Я думаю, если...
Возьми швабру. И как? Что? Что
я
ты
думаю,
сказал?
я думаю... А?
Я говорю, возьми швабру.
И в жопу.
Да. Толстой ручкой. Это ж...
Ща, у тебя еще
Какого
денег.
хуя я одна пью?
Какого хуя Галя пьет?
Одна.
Пошли. Нальем здесь.
Да, ты дурак, что ли?
Не осуждаем. Потому что мы педагоги. Ты заебал.
Пидорас.
О, она
Осуждаю.
шарит, она шарит. Я думал, строй, короче.
Сейчас мне клин засуду.
Ты вывел их уже?
Дураки.
Долбоёб. Почему я сюда зашел?
Я думаю, если на стриме это давай, больше шансов. Сейчас сколько смотрит?
1.
Это Twitch. Бля, я оперу включил, ебаный, походу.
Я все хочу этого опера GX. Не GX, это
Не,
это охуенный браузер.
вообще хуйня на самом деле. Ну хуй знает, я привык просто к этому.
Сука, это все из-за Сани.
Сегодня там Коля спит. Я и тут не грузил.
Да там почти ничего не пролилось.
А если мы
Это все
против-
из-за тебя.
Почему у тебя Twitch белый? Что за, блядь, бомжатство ебаное? Сделай его темной темой, блядь. А ты чё, депаешь уже, блядь? А поприветствовать стрим, блядь, там?
Приветствую стрим, парни.
Идите нахуй.
Пизда. Все в говне, нахуй. Блядь, чё, апгрейд? Да я заебался не апгрейд уже делать, а. У меня в кармане пусто. Че думаешь делать? Или на 30%? Пока.
Да,
Я предлагаю, короче, да не, 50 там мало будет, 20 рублей. Я предлагаю сейчас 30 сделать, вот говно какое-нибудь, типа вот такого. С унивирной.
А хуйня не выпадет, нихуя.
И потом его сделать, апгрейдить на 10%, там уже будет 400. Залетает. Залетает.
Не
в
залетает.
очко залетает. Короче, говно, ебать. Кто-то вот вытащил. Он открыл кейс за 5 и получил 5000 бонус.
Надо дапчик кинули. Сколько, блядь?
Сколько, блядь?
А ты чё в ТГД не выложил то, что это стрим начинается? Скажи Лёхе, чтобы он выложил. А, он долго стримил? Ты вообще транслировал то, что ты, блядь, форс-дроп поярил там в фейсбата?
Сейчас, да.
Ну а еще.
Что еще?
Форс-дроп.
Форс дроп.
Да. Там промокод 40% хотя бы к пополнению.
Знаю, что это за жопа такая.
Минимальный. Ты понимаешь, какой надо. Блядь, нажми на деньги.
Деньги.
Давай, вводи мой промокод. По
Вводи.
моему промокоду Тимин на форс-дропе 40%
Вводился.
этот пополнение к счету. Да.
Что за реклама?
Какая реклама? Мы осуждаем рекламу. Ой.
Я, кстати, хотел, короче, кого-то... Блядь, подожди. Да. Я хотел, кстати, этот...
Ах ты
Кого-нибудь попросить, типа, форс-дропа, вот это все, чтобы, типа, вот сюда куда-нибудь вывести.
Спасибо.
Будь здоров, малыш.
Спасибо.
Я сказал. Тебе не послышалось.
Я не послышал.
Будь здоров.
Спасибо.
А что, сканируй? Что ты сразу?
Что делаешь?
Шлюха.
Мы ничего не делаем. Мы играем с писюном. Нас видно вообще?
Ну, меня видно. Скоро стримчики, чат. Кто-то смотрит? А, никто не смотрит. Кому ему
Один
нужно?
чувак какой-то смотрит.
Это я.
Нет.
Это бот.
Бот.
Ой-ой-ой-ой-ой-ой.
Я тебе говорю, купить тоже не онкуси.
Бля, она такая яркая по всей комнате, вот так.
Но по всей комнате ты знаешь, сколько это будет стоить?
Ну, блядь, я что делать?
$200, нахуй.
Да не пизди, ну 1010. Меньше даже.
Может быть.
Там 10 метров вроде, что ли, 2 косаря стоит, нет?
Не знаю.
Бесплатно кейсик открываем на. И сейчас, если, блядь, падает. Опа, ну 20. О, выводи! Сука!
Живодер, блядь. Я знаешь, что хочу сейчас открыть? Оно хватает?
470 на тайное не хватает тебе. Какие замужние? А что у тебя с переводом, блядь, чел? Класс мисс Пэк. Это что у тебя за форс-дроп вип? Ты на випе крутишь?
В смысле?
Давай АВП, давай открывай. АВП. Давай, надо. Авик всегда дропает. Дропает авик. Один раз быстро. Он, блядь, дропает.
Че какой-нибудь не он
Ну, почти.
дропает, да? Он?
Ну, он дропает. Давай еще один раз надо. Просто еще один. Вот один раз. Просто один раз еще.
Давай нормальный.
Давай.
Да форс-дроп, что ли, говно? Ты вообще не удивлен.
Не, меня всегда дропал. У тебя просто сайт хуйня. Калаш, фарм калаша один надо сделать 100 рублей мне. Фарм
Кто?
калаша.
Калаш?
Внизу. Вот, за 10 рублей. 100 получается потратишь. Открыть за 100.
Не хочу на это смотреть.
160. Ты поднял. 16 рублей. Оно автоматически продается у тебя весь этот шорт-портрет. Не. Нихуя.
Главное, эта девочка не спрашивает Диану, можно ли...
Выводи. Или оставляй, или продаем.
Когда Диана сказала нет, вот мы...
Давай нам вот эти 86 рублей дропать, а вот это пока оставим. И подумаем.
Попробуй еще раз.
Она все равно, блядь, придумала.
Блядь,
Не хватит
хватает.
тебе, дурак.
Давай тогда.
Диана говорит, что они ушли.
Давай я свой открою, любимый.
Давай.
Вот мисс Клипс какой-то.
Это армейская.
Давай запрещенку хотя бы.
Бля, это хуйня же.
Не, он может
Вообще
нормально.
редко падает.
Он может нормально будет.
Йонкер? Опа.
Да,
Не,
уж-
хуйня.
хуйня. Ну,
Нет,
плюс-минус.
Хуйня,
Это прям
13
говно.
рублей, блядь. 9 даже, еба. Брелки.
Блядь,
Красный. Или, блядь, армейская.
Подожди, а что можно нормально? Фармазио, а он дорого стоит?
Фармазио там, блядь, умножай на 10.
Красный.
Битва хомяков.
Битва
О, это
хомяков.
хамстер комбат, это хамстер. Это
Делаем?
хамстер. Давай делаем.
Делай.
Ой-ой-ой-ой-ой. О, купил.
Кого чего?
Пару копеек, правда. Ой-ой-ой. Ой-ой-ой, плаки.
Не, он, кстати, мог бы и нормально выпустить. Ну, последний раз.
Блядь.
Он может... Говно.
Выводи калаш мне.
Выйдешь из-за того, что сейчас калаш у нас?
Мне.
Сколько?
Что там в нем вообще, давай посмотрим.
Там Dragon War, наверное. Ебать. Не, вот это все дорогие скины.
Dragon Lore.
Кроме вот этого, вот, наверное. Вот. Кроме...
Посейдон, блядь, 2000 максимум стоит,
Ты
блядь.
че, дурак?
Схуяли, он 2000 стоит.
Столько косарей не хочешь?
Что, блядь?
Это, наверное, самый дешевый вот этот дигл.
Ну, Glow Gradient, наверное,
Он
нет.
даже не продается. Не, Glow Gradient 1050-70 стоит.
Что?
С кем?
А, нихуя, он даже сейчас 150 стоит.
Ну,
Рыцарь, кстати, тоже дорого стоит.
конечно.
Нихуя, 410, это
А он
прям
потом-
завода.
Это он потому что, знаешь, сколько почему так
А
стоит?
почему не два разных?
Там сувенирные обычные.
Ага.
Знаешь, почему он так стоит? Потому что он крафтит Dragon Lore.
Я Варе так же...
М-м.
А на чё нам?
А ты бесплатно. А ты чё ежедневный бонус не забрал, сука?
Чё это?
Это хуйня, блядь. 20
Получить.
рублей по пополнению, блядь.
Ах ты, сука.
Блядь. Доступные. Что у нас тут есть?
Блядь, скинь Лёхе, чтобы он оформил.
Бустер?
Бустера можно. У него нормально иногда дропает. Иногда. Вас
Не, ну
получается.
это прям было гениально. Я знаешь, что сейчас хочу? А давай вот Давай вот задрота на все 2 штуки.
Ты немного охуел.
И в апгрейдах. Не, ну я понял, что это говно ебало. Апгрейды, давай попробуем апгрейды поделать.
Ну точно не калаш.
Не, это понятно, что не калаш. Оф, блядь, нет, прям пиздец. Давай до...
А могли продать и тайное когда-нибудь.
Кстати, да. Могли.
Ну, мне же никто не пишет, я нахуй.
Ебать, а что такой маленький процент, блядь?
Давай вот так сделаем. 5 рублей.
Это когда было, я так
Ты из новой коллекции, кстати, Юсп. Блядь, сколько всего, блядь, столько... Ебани. Он дропнет.
Да мне ты обычно
Он
не
дропнет.
звонишь, потому что мало ли что там тебе надо
50%.
от меня. Ты
Это не
мне просто
50 даже.
так не звонишь. Постоянно звонишь, если что-то надо. Пишешь, если что-то надо, а просто так нихуя.
Давай похуй, самый дорогой Драгонлор хуярь.
Нет, там просто 0 будет.
А я просто
А я
так.
не
Нет,
верю.
0-то не будет. Ну там 1 10-тысячная будет шанс. Повезло.
Да, тут вообще, конечно, шанс.
Тут хуйня вообще апгрейды, вот честно.
Апгрейды здесь вообще, честно.
А где калаш?
Так же?
М?
Где калаш?
Он просто тут же маленький апгрейд на 100
А
100 рублей,
чё,
блядь.
блядь, много есть?
Ну, тут вот, видишь. Ну, давай по приколу засунем в какую-нибудь залупу.
О, там смотри, маг 10 охуенно.
Это который физрук?
Яркий такой был. голубой.
Реально?
Или Зевса. Давай Зевса.
Нет,
Его
вот это.
запинали?
Вот он,
Ой, мы недавно играли, ну такой охуенный, бля.
он, да.
Да, кстати, знаешь куда? В стендов спиздили скин вот отсюда.
Реально?
Наклеечка.
А чё
Да.
за
Да, и скины тоже такие же на дробовик.
пиздец?
В точности
Ну, конечно,
скопировали.
долго
Либо
было.
тут скопировали.
Нет, тут он давно вышел.
Нет!
А как, сюда?
Ну,
Да,
да, не знаю, на месте родственников
да,
я бы
да,
отдыхала.
да.
Где мой телефон?
Понимаешь, 500 рублей сейчас вывел. 500. А закинул?
Больше.
Ну
300.
так-то он даже в школе не девочек засматривал.
Дай.
Просто.
Давай, я пойду
Не
поиграю
Допустим,
пока в напарнике.
девочки какие-нибудь
Давай,
бегают,
я в
постоянно
напарнике пойду
должны
поиграю.
смотреть, что-то
Ты
ещё
долбоёб?
такое делает.
Блять.
Знаешь, это свистулька висит, он типа ей бьет
Сука.
по жопе. Там, это вообще стрёмно.
Дай тряпку. Где?
Ты что, клавиатура, что ли, это сдохла, все? Пока?
Пока.
Знаю, придется покупать. А у меня есть.
Да, Оля там на клавиатуру что-то пролили, сдохла нахуй.
Не, она не на клаву уже продлилась, на под клаву продлилась.
Она прям в клаву упала.
Нет.
Да.
Так он с нее воду только что это...
Она в клаву прям упала. Блять, его высушено. Ну тут пятно на какое-то пивное
Моим
осталось.
полотенцем?
Нет, старым.
Бля, тут это пятно останется. Ёб твою маму.
А с тобой там девочка реально сидит какая-то?
Это Саня? Там Саня чипсы.
Дуся чипсы хуярит. Только спиздила за лупа.
Бывает, что. Ну, я ж тебе скидывала вот с 9 класса то, что я вообще, в общем, снимала.
Они
Что там
без
у нас
спали
было?
сейчас скакать будут.
ОБЖ или что там было у нас? Вот этот урок. Все что-то о своем говорят, и Ваня такой: я не подкаблучник. Сука. Я
А
вот
мышка
это все
сильно
пересматривала,
на
но
кровати
я
задней.
убирала, пиздец.
На мокром так охуенно играет. Так убери его, слушай.
Так его надо будет убрать.
Так убирай прямо сейчас.
Какая кровь?
Вот так оно идет.
Пиздишь, там какая-то девка с вами сидит. А время так-то позднее. Я вот сейчас пойду, нажалуюсь вот этим вот в вахте. И вас отпиздят.
Смотри, смакует каждый атом.
Тем более.
Кто смакует?
Ну, конечно, самая адекватная, да? Чё, гонишь, что ли?
А ты че стремня остановил? Ебать,
Нет.
тут много.
Ну, мокрый пиздец.
Она самая ёбнутая.
Немного помешан.
Да.
Че,
Бля.
тебе его дропнул? Или
Мне,
немного?
мне, брат, это же,
Ко мне
это
жаба
мне
нормальная.
все, брат. А я тебе что-нибудь дам, что ты хочешь?
Не знаю.
Меня его спиздили, нет?
Короче, когда она еще
Это Руслан, это мой кент, мы с ним еще в ДНСе так...
Ну, она типа, мы ее так назвали, потому что...
Просто зашел на стрим такой, ты, блядь, чё, охуел? Интерлега
А что чат, а сколько в ютубе нас смотрит?
2 человека. Блядь, на мокром пизда мышка не работает. Никто ничего в чат не пишет. Ну нахуй, стопы не понимаю.
Алло, ну-ка, ютуб. Это. Активности в чате не будет, розыгрышев тоже больше не будет.
А я бы сейчас бы что-нибудь разыграл бы.
Фастиком.
Фаст розыгрыша. Можно, кстати, написать, что кто-то зайдет на фаст розыгрыш.
Потом еще купила, мы зашли в пекарню, типа она такая, будет
Не пора,
вкусно,
проводишь
но у
меня?
меня денег сейчас нету.
Что, ты уже пойдешь, что ли?
Ну, нет, конечно, позже.
Мне пофиг так, вот, короче,
Мышку часа.
Че, давай я поиграю на пару.
Что сделаем этот фаст розыгрыш?
А почему ты себе выбрал? Ты же сейчас мне не сможешь скинуть.
Ну, тут через трейд бан. Так я не смогу трейд ссылку, там нельзя менять.
Ну, схуяли.
Там нельзя менять.
Можно
кстати.
просто дропать меня.
Да?
Да.
На других
Ладно,
сайтах
сколько ты
нельзя.
играть с ним будешь? 2 недельки?
Да, у меня есть калаш. Я могу тебе вот это дать.
Какой погонять? Вот этот сланец?
Да.
Сколько он
Сланец.
стоит?
300 где-то, по-моему.
Ну, красиво, мне нравится, фул черный, бля.
Так давай я тебе этот, а ты мне этот оставишь. Ну, фонтан
Ну, Я бы
вредитель.
тебе отдал его, кстати. Ну,
Давайте
дальше.
вот этот сланец дам.
Сколько он
тут
стоит?
нами.
Ну, посмотри, сколько он стоит.
Сколько?
Я бы сравнил стоимость. Ниже, самая нижняя.
Ой. А куда тут нажимать?
Ниже.
А, вот, продать на торгов.
Я согласен. Ну, он там 300 рублей стоит, плюс-минус.
Блять. Эти на торговой площадке. Но он, по-моему... А, закалка у меня. Ну, там нет разницы. 300 рублей, 350.
Ну все, давай.
Плюс он с брелком.
100 рублей мне еще что-нибудь давай. На 100 рублей. Вот юз, наверное, горный камуфляж. Или Star Trek P250 реконструкция.
Я его хотел на фаст сделать. Он
Нет.
просто вчера... Ой, я его с кейса убил. Я хотел на
Нет,
фейс.
нет.
Может тогда вот это?
Давай.
А, кстати, у тебя есть такое?
А что это?
Смотри,
Нет.
тут 3 золотых керамбита у меня.
Я в 25-м не служил. О, давай вот этот глок. А, не, глок у меня есть. Давай мне вот ревик.
Блин.
Он тебе нужен? А, ты играешь с ним тоже, да?
Да, мне нравится. Не, он, кстати, красивый.
Ну прикольно. Ну,
Кстати,
иди,
щас
а что
сразу.
у тебя еще есть тогда можешь?
Потому что, блядь, я
Зевс,
знала,
хуйня.
что
Вот
будет
я бы
30
так-то муху
таких
забрал,
вот.
наверное.
Не, кстати, вот этой мухи прикольно скоп желтый.
А что у него у тебя киллов? Ну ты на ней не играешь, я на мухе постоянно играю.
Давай в премьер. Да не, мы хотим, мы просто рофлим. Можем напарники пойти.
Типа конченая,
Ты где
да?
видишь? А,
Вот что он на YouTube пишет.
пошли премьер, реально пошли.
Да премьер долго пизда, нахуй.
Давай
Тем более я,
напарник, давай я напарник.
тем
Давай ты,
более,
я
тем
напарник.
более я тут уже до этой дошел в штучке. Мне больше ей не надо.
А там она ничего не даст за это.
Ты чё, охуел,
смысле?
что ли?
Ну что-то
блядь?
штучку дадут. Тут
Нет.
просто она уже прокачивание будет.
Нахуй,
Красивее и красивее. Там 1000 побед вообще сексуалочка.
А это что, 100
То есть,
побед?
блядь, никак Галя
Нет, это
из-за
50.
этого
А, ну
чего
я
не
уже,
Тут
сделала.
я уже
Так вот,
75
вот
сделал
это
просто.
вот. Кто это нахуй вообще посмотрел? Так что ли?
Кто ты нахуй?
Охуел?
Нет у тебя
Я
тут.
Subaru. Нет, меня здесь нету.
Почему? Значит, у тебя
У
0.
меня 1 рейтинг, как и у тебя.
Почему
У
так
меня
много
2, блядь,
блядь,
пиздобол. Практически.
1,372?
Ты думаешь, напарники сможешь сыграть?
Да.
Иди нахуй.
Ну и что тогда 50 закинешь?
Да, можно.
КС,
50 рублей.
КС этот.
Кейс батл?
КС-бат, да, там проще. Там хотя бы на апгрейдах можно что-нибудь сделать. Не, ну мы сегодня тебе с 70 прям жестко подняли соточку.
А,
плюс
да,
ещё
я
это.
же вывел
Да,
еще.
вообще некрасиво так. Особенно глок, блядь. Все в говне. Сука,
Клава, вот это.
Клава, да, вроде. Клава вроде работает.
Ну ладно.
Да, работает вроде. Я не знаю, как вот
А
эти
ты тоже без зафок играешь, ты что, дурак?
Да. Да, мне удобно. Ну как, я уже привык.
Ну-ка, подожди, что это за... Это Red Dragon?
Да.
Переключись на это окно.
Ой, блядь, сейчас
Зачем?
такой же.
Переключись.
Ну, надо вообще. Да, ты дурак, блядь, да не делай. Там
Одно и
Twitch.
то же нихуя не
Тебе похуй на него
изменилось.
никто не заходит.
А мнение ваше изменилось. Это как вообще?
Играй, ебать, у тебя глок охуел. У меня за 2000 такой был.
Ты что, не хочешь поиграть? Вон,
Давай, выходи, выходи. Чему ебать?
Ну,
Как
я
ты
всё
играешь,
знаю,
я не
мне кажется,
понимаю
что
просто.
никогда не будет больно.
Толстая залупа, твоя мать.
Ты это скажешь,
С тобой Симпл играет, блядь. На вина. Ты как Симпл поставь вот так вот.
Да ты дурак!
забирайте котёнка вообще.
Капец, а чё с сенсой? А как закупаться? А как
На Б.
Блядь, а можно потише, а? Алло, ты с кем разговариваешь?
Потише, животное.
Я нихуя не слышу, как ты?
Бля.
Сенсой, нахуй?
Забирайте котёнка,
Бля.
спать на улице, лежать.
Этот долбоёб с такой сенсой играет, я в ахуе.
Нормально.
Ты как с такой сенсой играешь, бля? Апсы, 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 апсы.
А чё фриз? Чё началось-то?
Сейчас я адаптируюсь быстренько.
А, Нави против нас. Я думаю, что такое?
Подожди, подожди.
В рюкзаке а тебе еще надо? Зелененькую, красненькую? Какую?
Давай красненькую, потому что это дерьмо
Есть вот
полное,
такая.
я потом-
Да.
Так это его.
Он не слышит.
Он не будет потом пить.
Да и что? На.
Да все достанут. Ой, блин.
Хорошо. А, может татушку тебе хотели? Давай потом татушку сделаем.
Что вы там делаете? К экзамену готовитесь?
Мы? Ладно, все. Но!
Вам же делать нехер больше.
По куропаткам стреляй.
А как у
Огонь
тебя...
по блядскому хутору.
Блядь, ты как переключаешь оружие такое?
На кнопке, блядь.
Же есть?
Найс.
Верни, а, пожалуйста. А что, можете забрать?
Да не
Я
надо.
завтра тебе отдам.
Да, блядь.
Не, я уже привык, кстати, я привык немножко. Только я не привык то, что, блядь, тут управление уебанское. На цифры переключаться. Блядь.
Ну я тебе жизнь
Я
отдам.
на цифрах переключаюсь. Я уже привык. Давайте сейчас сыграю раунд. Ну это тупая флешка, блядь. Ты ему только это замочишь.
Жижу!
Молик, 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 молик.
Так я не могу, я не могу.
Он вышел, блядь.
Слышишь?
Ау.
Сколько тебе миллилитров?
Тут 2.
2 миллилитра, и получается я 1 миллилитр всего выпил.
Нахуя если это дороже? Я хочу себе Диму только информацию.
А, нет.
Ой, будь здоров.
Ну, ага, хуйня.
Как он?
Не, он обойдется нахуй, если это позволит.
У нас молот Тора нахуй есть. Вот ты сама исходишь.
Мы можем показать. Мы можем зайти.
Чё, блядь? Кто-то мне друзья помешал? Ебать, дигл донка нахуй. Тут фул донки написано. Помнишь? Чё, какую-то трейд-ссылку мне отправляет, долбаться? Бля, экран, конечно, говно реально, я соглашусь с этим.
Я ничего не вижу вообще.
Да, издалека вообще ничего не видно. Я согласен. Особенно когда спишь.
Ебать он
Дай
тупой.
раунд сюда. Без звука можно.
Ща я тебе покажу, как надо делать грязь. Кто там что пишет? Гов Тиму. Не-не, у нас свой стрим. Я уже привык просто по кнопкам. Просто осуждаем.
Осуждаем. 2 смокана, хули нет. Вот такую флешку кидаешь. Блядь, что-то полагивает. Блядь, да что? Кто мне что пишет?
Заходи в тему в эту.
Кто
О,
там?
вот сюда, вот сюда.
Не светит.
Давай, заходи.
Они начнут кричать негры. Ой.
Да нет, нет, мы выйдем просто. Давай.
Ну подожди. Сейчас. Я мой минус 98 минут. Ну это пизда, нахуй.
Дай.
А кто мне
Пойдем
писал?
вот сюда, это тебе этот Рэм писал. Да, это Леха.
Не, кто-то мне 3 ссылку скидывал.
А, это Глобаль оценит него, похуй на него вообще.
Кто это вообще?
Это тоже вот он сидит в чате, на подписчик ваш. Давай.
Чё это такое?
Все, давай, я играю.
Да?
Так. О, Русланчик, вы чё, охуели?
Что нахуй?
Вы хули на меня не позвали?
Потому что нахуй.
Я у него дома играю.
Это, блядь, чьи звуки нахуй?
Ой, хорош. Давай, Люка, делай, играй.
Мне курить нечего, блядь, я курить хочу.
Left.
Слева, Люк, слева.
На шарту.
А, ну шорт.
Штаб.
Я понял, я думал, он вообще...
Да?
Мы тебя по веревочке обратно вернем.
Ну скажи, а, серьезно.
На ниточке скинь, мы тебя обратно вернем.
Переключи на правую мне руку оружие.
Хорош.
Сейчас скрип.
Ты не умеешь?
А что, тебе неудобно?
Мне неудобно. Мне вообще... Можно я сносу свою поставлю?
Я потом хуй настрою.
А что вы меня на стрим не позвали?
А, нахуй ты нам нужен?
Поля, скинь,
Что? А зачем? Я, блядь, так пришел просто.
мы скоро придем. Если
Легенда ебаная.
мы придем,
Ваня
да.
нас 90
Если мы не пойдем, да.
Можем чушь понапрямую проводить.
Иди с нами в преемство, что вы, блядь, какие-то-
Не-не-не, захуя, их там нет.
Я тебя не слышу.
Двое было там, блядь. Один справа был.
Вот тем более.
Ой, я иду на флоу, Значит, она была в табе на первом.
Хайд. Плантит.
Байтит. А, нет. У него один патрон.
Приглашай.
Кто, чё, кого? Чё, нахуй отсюда? Что
Выходи.
происходит? Они меня выгоняют или что?
Не знаю, что это. Тебя клава залагала. Все, у тебя пизда.
Собираемся, идем за жижей.
Пошли за...
Подожди.
Вы охуели? В смысле подожди?
Сейчас доиграем, у нас тут вообще-то стримили.
И чё, мне похуй на ваш стрим.
Сходи одна, значит. Тебя этот встретит. Пизду нахуй. А чё с клавой-то, блядь? Что происходит?
Он тебя выгоняет, приглашает, наверное.
Ебанатая. Утечь нахуй. Нет, с клавой-то все нормально.
А у вас какая комната?
Ебать ты косой.
Это где?
А это перед общагой или за общагой?
Слышишь?
Ау,
524 это где?
я откуда знаю? Перед общагой или за общагой?
Перед. Там же это четные числа. внутри.
Что нахуй? Не верю, блядь.
А нет, подожди, а почему четные числа вдруг стали перед
Что это?
общагой на дорогу
Где?
выходить, а не за?
А, что?
Чё?
Новобранец?
Так вот, я медаль за службу получил. Все, сброс ранга вообще. Вот и дали медальку.
Когда давно?
Если я еще раз... Вот 4 число. Если я еще раз до конца дойду, она будет зеленая, потом фиолетовая, потом
В смысле,
красная.
это до конца там какое звание?
Они же
38.
не так и выходили, все нормально, я просто вот тут помню немножко.
Что ты делаешь? Не, брат, нет. Или да?
Что с Клавой? Я понял, блядь, Enter работает, ну-ка. Да, Enter, блядь.
Идем за жижей, блядь.
Типа,
О, нихуя, все.
а,
Все, заработал. 50.
сука.
А сколько ты хотел?
Не, я вообще, блядь, уже заебал, не?
Ну все, начнем.
Сейчас, короче, секунду, пока я одеваюсь, с Олей поговори, вот.
Чё? Алло. Фаст розыгрыши, возможно, блин. Чё?
Нового года не будет.
Нового года не будет.
Новый год отсутствует. Закинул.
Чё вы хотите?
Нахуй. Да, закинул.
Что делаем? 3 таких?
Апгрейд. Да, еще один.
Какой еще один, если не хватает? Все фу, на 10%?
Бери ты, прикольная. Ревик. О, у меня такой падал, я его продал. Проебал 50 рублей впустую, а мог купить член в смазке. Член в смазке.
Заход. Да, блядь, да что за хуйня? Сами идите в попу, блядь.
Самый лучший дроп 2 рубля.
На 30 рублей закинул.
Да?
Смотри, сколько апгрейдов было, блядь.
Да за сегодня.
Реально?
Нет, ты что, дурак? Ну, половина из этого точно за сегодня у тебя было.
Бля, может фаст розыгрыш быстренько пройдем? Тут один человек на ходе выиграл, блядь. Буся, ёб твою мать, дура ёбаная, маму твою, туда-сюда, блядь, туда-сюда, блядь. Ты чё, все, домой пойдешь сейчас? Не, мы сейчас просто за жижи. Только не хочу за жижи, нахуй она вам нужна, блядь. Кто, блядь, в час ночи идет за жижи? Завтра куплю баночку и все. Слышишь? Алло! Давайте просто завтра баночку куплю и все. Давайте баночку завтра куплю. И все. Че мы сейчас пойдем вот ради жижи, блядь, до оттуда?
Да, пойдешь.
До общаги?
Да.
Ты серьезно?
Да.
Меня проводишь.
Надо было сигареты покупать.
Купим.
Так а где мы уже купим?
Васильке.
Лё,
Не буду.
чё он тебе там пообещал? Завтра вместо этой банки жижи тебе банку жижи купить?
Тебе банку жижи завтра куплю и все, будешь курить. Зачем идти-то?
Блядь, да я сейчас хочу так-то курить.
Так у тебя там есть немного?
Нихуя там нету.
Сейчас я тебе налью нахуй. Вот отсюда вот. Если там что-то есть. Да, блядь, подожди. Ну
Да,
там
блядь, я уже оделась.
есть пару капель.
Я уже оделась.
Пошли, Коля. Стрим. Сейчас будет про спам ссылочки.
Мы стрим оставим.
На
А сколько
Порнхаб.
время?
2:30.
До 12 сейчас. Да что ты делаешь?
Пойдем тогда сигареты просто купим и всё.
Пойдешь сигареты?
Сколько?
Да не надо, ну господи, блядь, да пожалуйста. Да нихуя так клавиатура еблани, ты ее так сломал нахуй.
Я тебе свою Dark Project дам, когда я Road Square куплю.
Реально?
Ну, за 4000 продам.
Слышу.
Я ее за 6,5 покупал.
Я
О,
вообще
это мой.
почти не курила, это
Или ты мне сланец отдашь?
Я тебе могу сланиться.
Вот прям щас.
Сейчас
Нет, брелок оставляй. Не-не-не, все.
Я его надел, просто хотел брелок оставить.
Нет, брат. Если ты хочешь себе фантомного вредителя,
Смотри.
выбирай.
Блядь, ты
Джибас
сравнил,
сие
сколько стоит
джуджу?
пачка
Да,
сигарет и сколько
Джибас
поест
сие
назвать
деджу.
воду?
Да, блядь, ну Буся. Ёб твою мать жирную.
Ну ты явно 100 рублей засунешь.
Осуждаем.
Ты дурак. Я вот с кошкой сижу. Фаст? Да, блядь. Так никого нету. Если был бы актив, я бы сделал фаст.
А что, не показывал, что ли?
Показывал, здесь задержка, блядь, 20 лет.
Подожди, дай посмотрим.
Во втором
Ну ты
часе-
что сделал, блядь?
Животное.
Промотай. Промотай.
Нет,
Где у тебя стрелки?
ничего не делай.
Промотай.
Шо?
Промотай. Промотай, дай посмотрим. Как это
Куда ты
получится?
тут пиздишь, а? Тебе. А ты чё, нет? Я вообще
Дурак,
нормально.
Ну и чё ты криво так поставил? Да ты дурак, блядь, пьяная залупа, нахуй.
Кто тут пьяный?
Сейчас сделаю фаст на твой инвентарь, нахуй.
Ты чё, охуел?
Чё у тебя там есть?
Нихуя у меня нет.
Да уйди ты нахуй отсюда, дура.
Знаете, что у меня сейчас?
Посмотрите, калаш.
Не, подожди, сейчас
Разыгрываю.
чатик
Опять
охуеет.
калаш
Я на
разыгрываю.
самом деле миллиардер, как бы, да. Нихуя себе.
Ты мне говорил? Или нет?
Да, блядь,
А что ты говорил?
да просто никого нет, я бы сделал бы фаст какой-нибудь нормальный.
Понятно.
Видишь, активно.
На пизду
Да,
нахуй.
блядь, ну что ты, да не ломай мне клавиатуру, блядь. Что они тут делают?
А хотя там это нельзя кушать, идите отсюда, ну-ка. Жопы маленькие. Да вы, блин, вообще что ли?
Че, донатим тебе в этот,
Дураки.
на КС, этот дроп хуй?
Подаритесь еще, это что такое?
Вот, стрим, вот мой авик. Так-то нихуя себе, я богатый.
Давай на твой зайдем.
Ё-моё!
Стим?
Не Steam, этот
А?
А,
Ну пизду
КС батл.
нахуй на КС батл?
нахуй. А, да.
Жесткий апгрейд.
Не.
Жесткий апгрейд.
не.
Жесткий апгрейд идет.
Нет, не надо. В чат сегодня чисто залетел, 100 рублей закинул на CS Battle и вывел так-то, во-первых, вот Глок Стартрек, нихуя себе, ласка, прям как твою мать осуждаю. И нахуй хамелеона за 300 рублей,
За 4.
за 400.
Долбоёб.
Так-то нихуя себе вот это видели? Ну нихуя, я того рот ебал.
Что, мама, блядь?
А еще, ща, блядь.
Скинь мне кейс.
Ты откроешь?
Давай откроем.
Нет. Или да?
Дураки.
Че, пошли?
Малыши, карандаши, буся, съебись нахуй.
А че я хотел показать-то?
Мать свою тупую.
На.
Снова фаста не будет. А что там еще написали потом? Ладно, удачи. Охуел? Кто
Всё
разрешался,
ради
кто
денег.
разрешался со стрима уходить?
Ой. Это кто?
Это чё это... О, это вроде сестра этого Лехи. О, это чё, стрим с Русланом? Меня не позвали. Кто это, Лизаруния? Лизаруния, ты кто?
Так это уже давно было, нахуй.
13 мая 2025. Это второй аккаунт Лехи по-любому.
Сто
Не
процентов.
рыгай только. Блядь. Пизди вы, пошли на улицу, пизди вы.
Пойдем на улицу? А все стримы ставлю 24 часа, вот эта шляпа будет. Просто рано.
Ну, по кайфу будет, чё.
Я так и оставлю на ночь. Пускай вот идет вот этот вот мажор, блин.
Мэлст.
О, не уходил никуда.
Ой.
Дурак, что ли, блядь? В моем кармане пусто.
Бай-бай.
Бай-бай. Я
Я
делаю
делаю
вдох, делаю писюн. Все, пойдемте за сигаретами.
А чё у тебя тут задержка ебейшая?
Да, это вообще пиздец. У него тут 20 секунд задержка на Твиче, у него нет задержки.
Вот на Твиче бай-бай, я делаю в рот. Он еще меньше стоит. Ну, блядь, мне же на видеокарту, сука, никто не скинулся нормально. Извините меня, блядь. Кто тут сидит и смотрит эту залупу? Да нахуй ты ее трогаешь? Да не трогай, да не ляпай ты ее, блядь, своими грязными руками нахуй. Да, блядь, да пожалуйста, не трогай, мне опять после тебя вымывать.
Если опять. Я, блядь, тебя первый раз, ну.
Блядь, что такое сырое? Ну-ка, съеби нахуй.
Сейчас, подожди.
Да не надо, да ничего не делай. Тупой. Да, блядь.
Это, кстати, да, это он. В прошлом, если вы не знали. Да не заканчивай так стрим никогда.
Как? Я просто выключил вебку, блядь, дурак.
А.
Пойдем.
Ладно, все, не буду больше так издеваться над тобой.
Вот и правильно. Все, пойдемте. Ты что, потом домой или чё?
Да, наверное.
Да ты дурак, что ли, блядь?
Блядь, кто тебя забанит? На маленьком онлайне всегда такая хуйня. Там вообще похуй, блядь.
Ты больше называешь?
Ну
Хоть это
нас
было.
же, блядь, забанили за то, что мы смотрели папины дочки в стриме.
За что? За
За
что?
папины дочки.
А чем там, блядь, банта? Там на авторских прав никаких, наверное, даже нет. Ну.
Охуели, потому что, да.
А где забанили?
На ютубе забанили.
На ютубе, блядь, хуй. Там, блядь, 16 хуйня, вот, блядь, беременна в 16 каждый день, блядь, смотрит, и нихуя же, блядь, что за хуйня? Чё это, блядь?
Мажор, блядь.
Мажор. Прикинь, онлайн. Донатим, Какой нам монитор, блядь? Хуесос. Чё там пишут? Чат, ну-ка быстро это, свой возраст написали, сколько вам лет, малолетки.
В Америке мы был уже зима, нахуй.
Как где, блядь?
Что, заново ставим? Пускай прямой эфир идет.
Что, идем, нет?
Это реально мажор, а чего тут за улицу показывают мне? Тут игра-то есть? Все, пускай ебашится.
Так уже закончилась игра.
А это что, такой же по вкусу? Я просто не чувствую.
Такой же он. Да, он тоже там
Да,
продал.
фу, бля.
На Гале все равно, она
Ну,
уже
раньше чисто
вкусно
ягоды.
чувствует.
Да, я уже вкусно чувствую.
Это ж хорошо.
Не делаю, бля. Чё, я, наверное, свои тоже собственные стримы буду запускать, где-то примерно числа 15-х ночные.
Она мне прокладки рассказывает. У тебя новые прокладки.
Заела, нахуй.
Вот из этого вырежай. Сколько?
Да он, блядь, пиздец, все нахуй.
А где пятно-то? Пятна не будет.
Да вот, блядь, большое пятно, потому что будет нахуй. Да ты дурак, блядь, нихуя не делай. Да нихуя не делай. Пожалуйста, блядь, нихуя не делай.
Здравствуйте.
Нихуя.
Надо вебку
Обоюдно.
Вебку выключи, пускай.
Включи вебку на секунду.
Все, пойдем. Пускай, блядь, будет трансляция этого говна.
С вебкой сейчас?
Нет, вебку выключи.
Не делаю три.
Хуй, блядь. Где матч мой?
Его сейчас не будет.
Там вообще что-то говорят?
Ступи на него. Вебки-то нету, дурак.
from Nico and no pistol, and yet Falcons come into our second half of our first map in this elimination game with the lead.
Ты там, Ванёк? Что ты нахуй сделал? Тупое чудище,
Все, давайте нахуй.
It's been pretty pedestrian Counter-Strike across the board, I would say. Obviously, very high hopes for a team like Falcons in this event. You want to see them start hitting their stride. I think a positive is some nicer shots being hit out of Monacy.
Yeah.
Still some rounds that had to be pieced together late, but it's pretty default Counter-Strike, and I guess that's what Falcons are known for. Maybe why it only takes Gum 2 hours to prep for him, but here we go. Second pistol round, straight out the guts off the red smoke. A-main Biff.
Yeah.
Renault not spotted. How many steps is he here? They've gone through red.
This is why I call it the Portuguese chat.
Is it a B split or into A? It has to be. Oh, yeah, A split.
Renault. That's the kill from Monacy. That really limits their contributions now. They don't have that extra angle. Nico no longer feeling pressure as Monacy, he manages to relieve our exit of his head. Insani into the side for one back. Nice catch from Magisk on the way through.
Kixon
Opens
unknown.
up the rotation. Kixon not being noted. Hard shot to hit. He tracks the heads. Gets the job done. Shaking his head as he pops two.
You can understand it's the same thing we've been saying match after match. There it is. Finally, they won a pistol.
A little bit of energy.
Yeah, it's been a long time between drinks as far as pistols are concerned, but Matt just trying to bring a little bit of positivity to the situation. It's Monacy just lighting them up. But yeah, Kixon's shaking his head because if he gets that cleaner, he probably denies the plant.
Right.
So he's thinking from the in-game leader.
Yeah!
Oh dear.
I mean, yeah, it's one of those where, you know... Oh, actually, yeah, we've got it up on screen. We can give you a quick reminder. Use code BLAST on Underdog for a chance to win some cash prizes.
Didn't force off the back of the plant, Alex. They've just got the hero AK, and A-main searching again. Dig from the Glock. All right, get out of there. We've seen enough. 2 players brought down to 50 HP by Glocks. That is a tough one to deal with. Nico's going to jump spot red as Insani's able to work his way out middle with that aforementioned AK. How much impact can the young Brazilian find? Kixon looks like he wants to start searching down ramp with the MP9. Magisk is going to join him, so the two of them partner up to take some space. Safe, currently viable as a frag over towards heaven for now. And Lukowski might go... Oh, these bloody Glocks.
I can't believe he's done 81 damage.
They've found so many dinks with Glocks so far. So the aim's on point for the Brazilians. If they had better guns, there'd be a few kills.
Insani does. So I am just like slightly concerned for the Falcons if these Glocks do anything else. Gonna maneuver into this cave setup though.
Nico, you have to get a kill.
Oh, put your nades away. Oh, I'm a bit stressed. It's fine. Kixon's not stressed. He gets 2.5. Nico's dead.
Not cleared.
Overlooked. Oh, magic. A sigh of relief from him as he doesn't get cleared. Gets himself the kill and that AK upgrade. They will be planting though. They're getting an awful lot out of this round, Chad. It's already costly. And I don't even see a kit. Why is this uncomfortable? Why is this so awkward?
low?
Why is this so awkward? And he's just seen the kit. Lukowski communicating. Perhaps they don't have one on site.
Okay, they could really lose this.
It feels very losable. Okay.
It's an open plant.
You boost up, but it's an M4. Oh my god, Monacy goes down, another one available.
Time.
Lukowski an exit. Someone's got to hold this. It all falls to the cover of Magisk. What can he get done? Not enough. Tessus is gone and they've lost it.
Forget about the AK. Forget about the hero AK. That's not even in the conversation. It's the pesky pistols, the Glock dinks.
Oh no.
That is an absolute mare.
How? Kixon gets 2.5. He gets overrun. Nico goes down through the smoke.
It's the damage on the other 3. Remember, 2 of them got put to half HP pushing A-main at the start of the round. So it's the dinks that were done by the Glocks earlier in the piece. That is a calamity right there.
Oh,
a miserable round to lose.
Lovely use of that like late round boost. Look what it's done to the Falcons economy.
That's a different story, right? Okay, oh, the AK gets an opening kill and then he doubles up and they pick up a rifle. No, it's Glocks getting dinks.
Glocks getting dinks and then an MP9 just arriving. Lukowski's just been escorted straight into the site and puts a bullet in between the eyes. Monacy's gone and he gets a second onto Kixon. Okay, is the round over? Nico doesn't seem to think so. Neither does Tessus. He slips out, removes Insani from the bomb site, denying the plant. And he's sticking around for more. There is body shots connecting. You see Brano and Safe left wanting at half HP. Now don't forget Tessus and Magisk only equipped with Deegs. This FAMAS really wants to stick around, at least have a bit more output from him. Hard shots to track. Nico and Magis get that back. Tessus, Nico getting the job done. It's exit in the clutch. Bomb down on default and plenty of time to cook. Molotov will be useful.
Tessus is cutting off at the pass, so he's pushed through cave. They come back around B lane. Nico's also departed. I don't love this from Nico, but Tessus, you love to see that. Spams him through the board, and he played that round to perfection.
Didn't he?
Tessus could have overpicked after he killed the bomb planter, but just drops it, stays alive, values his life, and ends up being the one to close the round in an unexpected fashion. So that's unfortunate for Exit there. We'll go back and forth. One was a hero AK with Glocks, the other was a full force buy.
I'm amazed they win this after this start. This is a 5v3.
Yeah.
Tess is definitely going to be MVP of that round. Such incredible impact.
Beautiful.
Great shot. And the wall bang. He's got his lineups. Perfect.
Yeah, helpless there if you exit. What are you really meant to do in that situation? And to drop the ball on that one. So both teams have had a hard round to swallow. That'll put Falcons up to 9, a 3-round gap as second tactical timeout for MIBR has been called. I see another AK. This one in the hands of Lekowski. He doesn't have head armor to go along with it. 1900 loss into the next, so they will have enough for a buy. They just want to make sure they continue to do damage to the CT finances before it gets too out of control, because we're only 3 rounds deep. Feels like we've had a lot of action for just 3 rounds in the second half.
Yeah, definitely. This half's already got a very different flavor.
Here's the problem. You can't rule them out of a round with 4 Glocks and an AK.
No, sir.
Even though I want to, because there should be no way to win, but they've already found one. Can they do it again? This one looks like it is going to have a tempered pace to it.
I'm no geographer, but I don't think lightning strikes twice. I don't even know if geographers deal with lightning.
I don't think they do that at all.
Meteorologists?
I think, yeah, that's probably more like it.
I'm no meteorologist.
Unless like the geography of the world was something you'd study in terms of like storm patterns and
Yeah.
the frequency of thunderstorms and lightning in certain areas, but I'd say there might be some weather people
But
out
back
there.
in the day, you'd call them a storm sage, probably. Probably.
In a way,
I am a storm sage, trapped in the modern day.
that could be your alias for tonight.
Pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
That's one of the X-Men, I think.
Yeah, it does sound like it. So this one has got a different approach. It's wait and then go. Rushing into Kixon. He's got his gun out in time. Glogs spamming helplessly. And that's the power of a well-timed smoke, folks. Sometimes the simplest answer is the best one.
Turns out you are a geographer after all. Lightning didn't strike twice as Kixon pushes down, finishes off the round. Double digits now for Falcons.
How many different types of rock can you name? Sedimentary, that's all I've got.
Granite.
That is a rock, I think. Okay, well, we'll leave it there.
Limestone.
Let's end on a... Oh, damn, sandstone. Okay, we win. Chat, keep going. Any more rocks?
One's in chat if you love rocks.
They're minerals, Marie. Minerals.
I jump pool?
Pool?
Is that what he said?
I don't know where pool is.
5th floor. All right, well, could be an A-go. Yeah, Exit's already lining up some util to throw straight towards CT spawn.
Oh,
They're just
okay.
going to rush A. Nico out mid. Monty finds nothing either. There's not going to be a quick
No one
rotation
hears
for this. CT smoke's already
They've
landed.
whiffed it, absolutely bamboozled
Yeah,
it.
you're right, they have.
And Safe's got 9 HP. Oh, that's a messy one. Monacy gets nothing done. There was 2 on his screen. He kind of got a bit too much of a target-rich environment, got a little overwhelmed.
How have you hit a skyball in the CT smoke? I can't quite understand that.
It's
All right.
harder to hit that than the actual CT. Magisk and Nico are retaking this one very nonchalantly.
Everyone's dead.
Wallbang headshot through a smoke, of course.
Well, Lekowski's on his own because Exit up to Exit tricks. He's just lurking. So, Lekowski, you need a multi-kill, mate.
Yeah, but the bomb is actually quite light on time. If he had got some output, maybe Exit's position could have been a bit of a late linchpin into the clutch. Diffuses and planted for him. Nico just needs to provide the covering fire. Another body goes down. The fuse comes through, but he'll farm up a couple of extras. Triple kill from Exit. Solid output. But the 11th round is Falcons, and that's kind of where the focus is drawn. This second half from MIBR is going down the gurgler fast.
Yeah, and you hate that as well. Like messing up little details like smokes when the call was good. There was nobody home. They went for the B lane and the mid press. There was 3 players dedicated towards middle. You were in towards the site. You get the bomb planted. You know, if you had the safety of the utility landing properly, the comms not having to be chaotic, players not needing to pull out nades, start focusing on the territory you're going to take. Maybe, just maybe, that could have been your round. But stressed out now. Final tactical timeout, and this one looks like it could be over quick. Smart nuke up next. Inferno if we need it. And Falcons finding form. Well, they finally won a pistol, Alex. Next map, let's see if they can get a pistol and a conversion.
Well, that's, yeah, you have to go at stage by stage.
They're just going to power up. We got FaZe versus 3D Max coming up next. That is a 2-1 fixture.
I'm excited for that one. It's a team that a lot of people are intrigued to see what kind of level of form you can get just immediately throwing a wild card AWPer into the mix.
Well, everyone's loving the FaZe hype train at the moment. It's just that simple. Well, a partial. So essentially, you still have some threats, but you're playing for OT.
And what I find interesting, Chad, is that Nico's cheated over as well. So how are Falcons going to operate without any mid info? Is it just a kind of question of, like, at some point m0NESY checks the red cross, like in his internal timer?
Feels like this is part of prep.
Okay.
Just playing this heavy towards B and staying so staunch with it. Now that util drops elsewhere, it actually pulls Nico away. Tessa's starting to pivot back from cave. m0NESY still posted on the line.
Oh, he's actually missed it. Just looked away. Started to move his scope just upon the first peek.
See, there are concerns right now for Falcons because they didn't have eyes on middle like you touched upon, so they don't know if anybody's crossed towards red. So m0NESY will have to worry about that. Nico needs to worry about A. Magis covers Donut, which now makes this B defense a whole lot weaker.
Yeah, it's just the two of them, and Kixon's just tucked in the cubby. So he's just going to try and play spoiler. It looks like Tess is kind of selling him down the river.
And no block utility between the two of them.
Oh, Cave, though. It is a very tight choke point.
Here comes the util.
They'll concede. Yeah, okay. Play and retake.
The bomb should go down.
Well, Tessus could maybe do something here.
Still a tough angle.
Not comfortable angle, especially with good flashes like that. Now the Tech-9 surge forwards. They confirm Tessus' presence, and the bomb will go down. MRBR have got this far. Anything else seems like a bit of a pipe dream. I say that. Lakowski does remove Kixon. Insani in the cave side. It's all Speedway. So no threats from late ramp, cave. Flushes them back, but Incendiary won't spread, won't force fights. It still is a fight from Safe. Makes it work with just the P2. Magis gets low. Softened up for that Insani D. Kind of needed to hit 2 consecutive bullets here. And yeah, swings into Nico. Plenty of time for a 12th round on the defuse.
Okay. Well, the buy does come through. Obviously, the max loss bonus in play with the extra cash money. Insani and Lakowski, 17 and 16 apiece. So the two of them delivering in the frag department. Feels all in vain as MRBR stared down the barrel of a loss on their map choice.
That round's a great example of, you know, how you're trying to hammer it into the people we're playing with, that you can give people the sight sometimes.
It's fine, right? You can give over the plan. As long as you win the round, you understand your protocols as far as the retake is concerned. But let's go. Likely the final rounds here.
Okay, well, Nico's got a partner in crime for the mid-hold this time.
Yeah, and m0NESY also there to throw some flashes in case there was a barrage utility coming back their way. But the surge in through heaven. Tessus is going to meet exit, but completely blind right now.
Both of them blind in the smoke. Tessus gets out first. That's a huge advantage now, but it does leave a potential cave slip. Covered in the smoke. Insani doesn't matter. What a transfer into Tessus. Different elevation. He pulls it up, finds the head. Double kill out mid. Exit. Oh, he should have had that one.
Yeah, well, Lakowski's in the site, so Lakowski should kill Kixon on the way back. It's going to be m0NESY and Nico going to have to mantle up, and Kixon actually playing it safe. So he is essentially communicating to his team they can be anywhere on B. I'm going to value my life. m0NESY jumps up. Now, there is the late piece of Breno coming through lane. m0NESY could catch him here.
How does Breno peek this? Okay, he jiggled it out, so just takes a leg shot for his troubles. Now, Kixon's heard those steps. Safe starts to plant the bomb. Kixon buys time.
Nico's flank.
Coming in from the door side. Breno distracted as well. Not looking. Should be Nico's. Yep, not going to take his time with that one. Oh, and now should be safe, but he's jiggled out, forces that AWPer to pull the trigger. Now getting uncomfortable for Lakowski on site. They're pressuring from cave side. Safe distracted, eliminated now. Lakowski getting closed in on. He knows where they both are. Has to isolate these duels. Nico and m0NESY, though, they've got the synergy, and he gets overwhelmed. A convincing start to the series. Falcons, it was necessary. They are on death's door, and they stand up and deliver map 1.
Yeah, well, the underdogs might smell blood in the water, but right now, MRBR are looking like fish food. We've got Nuke up next. That was their map choice, falling very flat. If you thought there was a weakness because of bait, maybe that was just day one jitters.
The most dominant form we've seen from Falcons throughout the entirety of the Austin Major so far. Dupree, looks like Falcons are back.
So far, so good. I mean, I still think that Falcons has proven us that they can still play some good rounds. I think Falcons has shown also that they are in a position where they get when they get the things going, they play great. But at the same time, they still show a lot of weaknesses. I feel like there's been a lot of rounds where we just see them fall completely flat and then just look super silly.
Yeah, it's hard to disagree with that. I feel like it's still not polished. It's still not clean. But then again, you're winning 13-6 after what happened yesterday and what happened the day before that as well. I think it's very hard to be negative in a sense that it's significantly better than what we've seen the first couple of days. So I still think they're trending upwards. I also think there's a case to be made then, and you can probably attest to that as well, Peter, that sometimes you play up to the level of your opposition. And I think Falcons are one of those teams that whenever they're facing a good team, they will also inherently play better Counter-Strike. And I think them facing the likes of Bait, them facing the likes of Vision, them facing MIBR, I think it drags Falcons down to a level that is not necessarily justified.
Yeah, it's kind of mental to reflect upon, you know, before coming into this particular tournament. From the point that they added Munacy, they only lost to Vitality, they only lost to Mouse, right? That's the caliber of opponent that we're talking about. And then when we're talking about Munacy, it's great to see him back in the server today, isn't it?
It's definitely like I still feel like he has misses, but it's just way better from yesterday. Like we saw some of his more characteristic hits with the AWP as well, and also coming into round 9, we saw that Munacy, he came into the round and saving the things for Falcons. You know, it actually didn't look too pretty. You know, Nico gets caught off by in this situation in the flank. Then they know that they had to speed up on the opposite side, and then Save comes in with a little bit of a bad miss here. But overall, it just looks like Munacy understands the situation that they need to go for the aggressive plays here. Munacy, he hits the first one, then he gets an outkill on this one, and then just falls back. And Freya, we talked about now the fact that he picked up the M4. We talked about the fact that maybe he's actually not feeling confident now because he gets another uncharacteristic miss right here. But he's out of bullets. He actually goes back to the M4 and just instantly goes for the fight.
Love the fact that we get to see Munacy on the AWP. You know, one of the big critiques I had when they lost to Bait in that opening game on Ancient was that he didn't play the AWP in the entire first half. So I think, and I hope that's something Munacy would have said and localized as well. Maybe even Sonic, for that matter, as well, have realized that, listen, we have to treat our economy in a way that we allow Munacy to get into the game. We know he's capable with the rifle. You see this in this highlight package as well. There's going to be kills with both the two guns. But I think Falcons are a better team when they have an AWP presence, and I think Falcons are better when Munacy's playing the AWP.
It was something that I kind of wanted to combine, you know, when I checked in with Majest yesterday. He was talking about, you know, we have to treat this as individuals, right? We have to step up individually. And then Nico saying a little bit more on that today about the being proactive, being reactive to what your opponents are throwing at you. Were you content with what you saw from Munacy in terms of that aspect in this particular map?
I think it was good to see that he just lived up to the expectations of himself, and also the fact that he knew that I let the team down yesterday. I needed to prove myself. I need to prove everyone wrong that what happened yesterday or the day prior to that was just not just me, you know. And for him to get some confidence building into this one was great to see. And also his decision-making inside of this game was good. I feel like he understood very good, especially in the round we just saw that I cannot just stand still and just be like super stale. I need to go for actually for kills, and then I need to equalize and play off my teammates way better than he did the other days.
We've spoken about AWPing, we've spoken about rifles. Let's talk about the pistols, because prior to this, Dupree, Falcons, they lost 9 of them? Is that correct?
We've addressed, yeah, it's correct. Yeah, we've addressed how important pistols is.
That's
like
crazy.
Pistols coming into these games is always going to do one thing. It's going to build economy, but it's also going to bring confidence, you know. And at this given stage, you know, the whole A gamble thing for Falcons finally paid off. They also did that against Bait. Munacy hitting another banger shot here, and it just, you know, he just creates the scene for the rest of the players to get some good kills inside. He tries to bring things back. Kicks in here, you know, he comes out of temple. He fumbles a little of the kills, and he actually shakes his head in the position because I think if he would have gotten the kill faster, he would have actually denied the plant, which is also important going forward. But you can see how much it means to Magic Stack winning this pistol.
We're going to do a little bit of a flip-flop here. How do you say it in Danish? Clip-clap.
Clip-clapper.
Clip-clapper. We're going to do a bit of clip-clapper here, because what happens in the next round then, Jake?
Well, that's when it gets ugly. You know, that was the ugly moment in the game, because you think Falcons finally win a pistol. Now also shows you can convert that pistol. Unfortunately for them, they get into an uncomfortable 3v2 where the bomb is going down. You're playing against an MP9 with no armor and a Glock with no armor. And the cool thing about Exit, the only thing he does in this round is boosting Lukowski and making sure to stay alive. Then he ends up dying at the later moments, but you think to yourself, that is unlosable. At that moment, 8-6, we think Falcons, oh no, this could be really ugly again. Luckily for them, they bounce back right here. A 5v3, you think to yourself, that's unwinnable for Falcons, but they find their way back. Tessus gets out, what a good timing. I don't know what the hell MIBR is doing. Planning the bomb this early in the round where you have no control over Cave, you don't have Long under control as well. You're in a 5v3, there was no point in rushing it. And at this point, Exit left by himself. I think it's Tessus who's going to pick up a
kill and a spam kill as well. And I can't help to feel that, yes, that was the one moment in the game where MIBI could have come alive again. They could have installed a bit of fear in Falcons, winning the pistol, not converting. Oh, we're back to square one. We're not looking good. But from this moment and onwards, it was Falcons all over.
And sure, we got to praise Tessus for hitting some really great shots, but what I want to boil it down to is that the plan is just incorrect. Like, he gets the first two kills that go in the way of MIBI comes from the long position, and the fact that he actually decides to go for a plan where he's actually spotted from cave, where he doesn't, like, they're unaware if there's a guy in there. I think that even there was a smoke in there, so they are probably aware there's a guy somewhere around. So if he would have just planted the bomb anywhere where he wouldn't be able to get shots, sure, he could have get wallbanged, but the case would have been closed in that situation.
It's mistakes like that that is the difference between making it at a major and not. And it may sound a bit harsh to boil it down to that, but at the end of the day, it's a massive mistake, and it cost them a round, and it cost them an opportunity of getting back into it.
And they got a free ticket. Like, the round they won prior to that was like a free ticket back into the game, and they just completely threw it away.
Let's talk about one of the players on the side of Falcons that undoubtedly has the most experience at majors. You know, if he were to win this one, Dupree, he'd be tied with you.
Yeah, he would.
Don't think too much about that. Don't think too much about that. Yeah, Majisk, we've been talking a lot about him because, of course, the rumor mill keeps on churning, right? The fact that there's a Sankyosuke out there that has been rumored to be joining Falcons. Magic's name is always one that's thrown into the mix, but he has been showing up here, hasn't he?
I mean, whatever is on the line for Falcons of what's going to happen after this tournament, and whether who's the one that's going to be on the chopping block, I think it's great to just see Magic just leave all these things behind. You know, he just takes matters into his own hand and actually plays some good Counter-Strike. You know, we saw he had a bit of an uprise also when they were in Dallas, and now coming into this tournament, he's also been probably the most consistent player, maybe alongside Monacy, if you could like look apart from the first couple of days, but then everyone just really played really bad. I think Magic in this game, like, he didn't get like super flashy kills or went to do like a lot of the heavy lifting, but he was just like being stable, and that's what's needed of him. Like, you have Nico and Monacy inside the team; they are the ones getting the highlights and getting the flashy ones. So for him to just step up and be this rock that we know he can be is definitely the right approach for himself as an individual.
If you're a Magus fan, you should be happy because every game is an audition for him right now. If he is going to get cut, if that is true, all the rumors that we're hearing right now, and Kyusuke's coming in and he's out of the lineup, then I'm pretty sure there's a lot of other teams right now that we're going to speak about at this tournament. The likes of Astralis, who's not here, G2. There's a lot of teams who could use a player of his stature, a player of his caliber, a player with his experience. And if he's showing that at this tournament he can still play at a high level, then he's just basically playing for a new contract. And so far, so good, Peter. I agree with you. He's been consistent. He's been delivering. Had a bit of an uptick at Dallas. So Magisk is proving that there's maybe still a couple of years left in him.
I reckon he would go back to Astralis. I don't know. That's a conversation for another
Hopefully
day.
not for him.
Was this
nice.
the best opportunity for MIBR to take a map off of Falcons? Obviously, we're going to talk about a bit more about Nuke, the pick of Falcons after the break. Was this your opportunity for MIBR to strike when the proverbial iron was hot?
I think it's fair if they head into momondo.com right now and start picking up flights.
Oh.
I don't have to agree. I mean, coming into this game, what map are you supposed to pick? If you decide to go and pick Ancient against Falcons, then you just have a pretty bad map pool coming into the series.
Yeah, I don't believe it either. To be completely honest, MIBR had an opportunity losing the pistol, winning the second round. That was the ticket into the game. They didn't capitalize, and to be completely honest, I feel like the more Falcons get to play, the more of that pressure that gets alleviated for them, that is, then I think it's game over. If MIBR gets to double digits, I'd be surprised.
Well, 13-6 is how Ancient is going to be wrapping up. And now Falcons pick lays in wait. That's Nuke, which we're going to be diving into after this short break. Nuke as the pick of Falcons coming into this series, and a chance for them to go 2-2 here at the Blast TV Austin Major. Obviously, we've seen them playing a hell of a lot of Nuke in their careers. What should we be looking out for coming into this one, Dupree?
I think obviously Falcons is a team that has been playing so many tournaments and they've made so many deep runs that they have so many reputations on all the maps. And if you just look at how many maps they played on each individual, like they're like at top 15 on all of them. So you know they have just so many reputations that they will feel confident pretty much anywhere they would go against in likes of him.
I think the biggest storyline for Falcons when it comes to Nuke is keeping an eye on Nico. Obviously, leading into this tournament, he had a period where his CT sides in particular on Nuke were lackluster. His T side necessarily not good either. And we know Nico to be, for many years, we described him as the best outside yard player. We described him as arguably the best CT-sided player in the world on the map of Nuke. And he's been in a bit of a slump. So in terms of Falcons winning this game, I have full confidence in that. But if you are a Falcons admirer or a Falcons fan, you want to look out for a tendency trending upwards for Nico, because he's going to be needed when they play the likes of G2, when they play the likes of Vitality, when they play Mouse. Against MIBR, it's going to be no issue.
They're going to be starting on the T side of things. Sorry to interrupt you there.
No worries.
Just going back to a point that you said yesterday in the OG game, you were a little bit concerned about Nico maybe getting bullied in that outside area, right? As Pimp said, so crucial on the map.
Yeah, but that's actually what I want to buy into. Like, I think if they can keep Nico alive, if Nico can get to the secret area without getting punished, I think that Falcons is in such a good position where Nico can help play and make out the rounds for them. It feels like every time Nico gets punished outside yard and they clear him out and see, okay, there's no one else here, then they're like, okay, they probably fall lobby, they're gonna either hit in or they're gonna go ramp. But if they can keep Nico alive and he can actually bully whoever is actually trying to control this secret passage for the CTs, then I think they have so many more options, whether they can go back to yard, they can come up vents. There's like so many possibilities, but it all kind of relies on Nico staying alive, and that is probably where I would be looking for this series as well.
Does it sound like it's over then for MIBR? We're literally only mentioning Nico's name and how much impact he's having. There's 4 other players on the side of Falcons as well. Are MIBR going to be able to surmount this hurdle?
Personally, I don't think so. I would love to be proven wrong. I would love to see MIBR maybe take a map off Falcons and install a bit of fear again, so we have a bit of excitement. But nothing to me right now, Peter, suggests that MIBR is going to win here. Insani is the one player I'm looking out for. We had a talk about it in the green room as well. Lukowski used to be a guy that could make the difference, but let's be honest, Nico Monacy versus MIBR, it's as clear as it should be.
And I think, like, you know, Insani and Lukowski has been the 2 best players so far for MIBR, also in the game before this one. So if you have to look like a bright spot, sure, they have the ones that they expect to go up and make numbers. They are playing well, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
If anything, MIBR got the coolest shirt in the building, so I would like to see that a bit more, but I think it ends here for you.
That's why we pay you for the high-level analysis, Jacob. Well, it's time to get this show once again on the road. It's Nuke, the pick of Falcons, and a chance for them to go 2-2.
Wait, you get paid?
Is Jacob colorblind?
No, look.
Is he colorblind?
You don't, like, he's good at something.
Is he colorblind?
Analyzing Counter-Strike, endurance.
The coolest shirt.
Not fashion sense, okay? I can't talk. I'm wearing essentially a bin bag, but I still think
coolest
the
shirt.
coolest shirt is a stretch. It's a stretch. It is, but
Whoa.
hey, let's not bully him, because this could very well be the last map they play at the Major for MIBR. I feel like it could very easily be overshadowed by the Falcons surviving another day of play. It's understandable, of course. You know, a star-studded roster for MIBR, they are still seen as mere fledglings, and arriving in this stage an achievement in itself.
Yeah, I think this is the tough part of this. There's only really one side of the story that the greater Counter-Strike world cares about, unless you're Brazilian. Obviously, it's important for the Americas region as a whole for the second major of the year. But right now, all focus is on Austin. Budapest is a whole long while away. And well, Falcons are a team who are meant to be in contention to take on Vitality for the trophy. Let's see, can they find consecutive pistol rounds? Well, the T-side start their map choice.
They were very happy when they won the first.
Yeah, well, I can understand why. A drought of pistols, especially with just the tense games that they've been playing. All right, looks like the top pop set up. Molly at the ready for top hut, and away we go.
Okay, well, that dual Berettas is going to be forced to drop down. He's set himself up beautifully. Lukowski smoke drop double. As many kills as he has pistols in this round. And yeah, I think the knife slashing in the smoke is an embodiment of how well this pistol's gone for MIBR.
Wasn't that beautiful, though? Smoke lands, removes the vision, and don't worry about that. You get fade to black in a moment because the dual Berettas bang, bang. Round over, job done. Kixon in a 1v5 situation. We'll call that the 1-0 start for MIBR.
You want to see, you know, full justification for Breno facilitating Lukowski with a smoke and the dual Beretta drop. Breno essentially just bought everything, got away with just a pistol.
Mr. Nice Guy.
Yeah, nice boy indeed.
All right, well, Kixon, see how much you can find, because, yeah, you would find the U2 on that T side. So He's been spotted. 40 seconds left on the clock, and it's tough to even bother talking this one through. He does have the bomb. He could plan on B.
That certainly gives him something to work with. However, held by Insani, and they will have 5 alive. Not an overly extreme pop-off. Second round conversion is still going to be a question.
One of the keys, and it is a smaller one, is the fact that only one player took damage, which means the players who already had Kevlar get the cheap investment into head armor, which facilitates more rifles. We don't bother talking about it too much, but it actually does have quite the huge ramifications with the early stages of a game. So you're going to see 3 M4s and 2 MP9s going up against what looks like it will be the Glock Eco. So should be MIBR able to get away with the 2-0 start before Falcons bring the rifles out. And remember, there has been a roster change for MIBR this year as well. Obviously, Drop was formerly part of this team doing the in-game leadership as we get the odds up on screen, and they've even thrown ever further in the favor of the Falcons. So you're going to have Breno playing over towards ramp, occasionally assisted by that safe AWP. You're going to have Lukowski as your hut/door guy. Exit is going to have to be the topside anchor plan on the rafters back site. Insani, the outside rifler, and safe, of course, as the AWPer. The desk obviously highlighting Nico. Dupree pointing out, hey, if they can facilitate so he gets control, it is going to make their life a whole lot easier. And Nico is a very strong player, but there's so many more ways these days to be able to deal with yard players, the clears of the smoke, the understanding of the rotations, the spams are becoming picture perfect as the Glock Eco is about to be dealt with. There you have it. MP9's getting the lion's share of frags within that one. So Insani versus Nico was a fixture on map number 1. Nico was, what was it, 0-7 at one point before he got on the board with any kills, and he was having a tough time giving up a couple of frags. But, let's see if we can get into these guns right now and they can find their first rifle round.
Quick message from our sponsors. This is Underdog. Playing on Underdog is easy. Just choose higher or lower on your favorite Counter-Strike players to win real money. Moving into round 3, though, it is guns out.
1 MP9 for Lukowski. Khalil for Magis, that's the weakest of the weaponry right now, as Tesses top silo. Quickly mantles onto main, kicks in. Tasked with the util. Diagonal smoke wall dropped. Insani aware of Tesses' position by the looks of things. Now, just we're talking about it, can Nico get across to Secret, or is that even part of the plan? Is the first clear of the smoke, the speculative shots, nothing found. Now he starts to crawl, another HE. Second smoke wall, so you can just see how much utility is exhausted to get this control. But Lukowski's already down to Secret. So he's in a position to get early information, trying to play an off angle against Nico's AK. Insani drops back over towards Hell, and they're quite clustered up at MIBR. Redeploy the squeaky smoke. Nico's coming down to investigate this.
Yeah, Lukowski committed angle, and with 40 seconds left, the finish is imminent.
It's not going to be B, so they can stay quite heavy towards A right now. Another squeaky smoke.
Feels like their setup could be tough to break. Up in the rafters, overlooked. It will be safe. Does connect. Magis gone. They need to find the player on the site. Safe drops into Kingston. A free frag. Exit flushed forward by the Flames. Gets confirmation. Still has a safe haven. Up the vent. Low HP. It's Breno in the clutch versus Monacy. Doesn't call the bluff on the plant. Monacy allowed to get that down. Now Breno swings out and he wins the duel. Monacy looks up to the sky in frustration. Sure, you got the bomb down, but MIBR, they'll keep these wins flowing.
We can just see how telegraphed that was, right? For MIBR, they know the impending doom of that execute. Nico had the secret control, but he didn't apply any pressure. And when he did start to investigate, there was so little time on the clock. He didn't get the kill, gave over the opening death, and his teammates did a good job to still trade in towards that A side and get the bomb down. So, yeah, Secret's call completely clear. Having that space is great, but you have to do something with it. You see certain teams, they round the corner, they get the molly over to the double door side, they make sure that there's nobody close, because if you're towards back vent, right, your decon side or your double door side, you don't actually know what could round the corner in an instant. But if you have that space that he had, it's unlikely like 3 players are still all just sitting on the stairs doing nothing. So we'll be a partial now, 1 AK. 4 upgraded pistols and opening of the util. All smoke and mirrors. They're going to pounce ramp into the orb.
Yeah, safe, primed and ready. Elevated angle on top of the box. Be able to fall back, drop off, and actually elects to do so immediately. Just going to throw out a block smoke. Will that be
That's
their
an
time
invitation.
to go?
That's an invitation.
Tess is with that Tech 9 and the bomb on his back, about to triple swing this AWP. Okay, bait the shot. Lucky to be alive.
Breno's here.
Tess is hamstrung. Finished off by Breno's rotation. Safe, pullback, AWP, a missed shot. That's the support you want to see. Team play on display from MIBR.
Oh, look at that, everybody.
Insani, everyone chips in, everyone in the right place to defend this ramp rush.
Yeah, quick response time on this as it's just Nico. Only one yet to frag again, so two extremely slow starts from the rifling superstar in the start of both these maps. Sure, it's only 4 rounds played, but when he plays such key positions, you want to get him going early. So 4-0, about to be the case for MIBR as Nico. He's going to look for anything he can. They've actually started to push up ramp, so he might just get blindsided as he peers back down. Sweeps in, spotted now, and Lukowski will delete. Beautiful work, all 5 staying alive. So you think about it, the pistol round, clean and easy. They're able to get the M4s out early. Now, we're talking round after round. Sure, Breno came down to a 1v1, but this alleviates a whole lot of that pressure against the partial.
I mean, here's the maths for you. Falcons, 5 frags in 4 rounds of play. That will certainly do it for the CTs. They're flying high. The coffer's going to be a little extra padded.
All right, well, no tack taken. Just going to get straight back underway. This time a bit more pace from Nico.
Yeah, he's going to be working on yard this time.
Sunny in from main, so he's prepared for a player trying to slink down vent. Smoke balls up early. There's the clear, nice and high. And slightly premature. Nico can wait that out. Is there a second HE who's going to power through this?
Oh, he's holding for it. Oh, Nico, despite that, still hits the headshot. That's an opening kill for Nico. Impact being felt as Tessus gets aggressive.
I love this from Tessus. Depends on the timing as he mantles up. You see there's a player in the heavens. That's Breno. He's just dropped down in towards the site. So high alert right now is the lobby anchor. This time there is follow through down towards B and nobody home at the moment for the Brazilians.
If Magis just gets one here, he got that little shoulder jiggle, does tame the spray. Finds Lukowski. Did he hear Breno on the swing through? I think he did make a step, yeah. Concerned about more in lobby, but that's keeping him so busy. Feels like the round's almost a shoe-in now.
Yeah, okay, well, they've sprawled out everywhere, haven't they? Lobby control, you've got Tessus who's gone all the way outside. Now he's going to flank ramp. It will just have to be the save for MIBR. Does Tessus hard clear this? It's not an easy one, but step straight in. Safe will take it for free. Breno goes down in the interim. Magisk is playing this. Look, it's not the most glamorous role. He's back in T-spawn where he started the round, but his impact, it's massive. Stalls them out, drops back, removes an avenue for them to save. Eggton and Safe really going to try and tussle with him because they could lose everything by going for it.
Yeah, exit and Safe are trying to exit and save. However, Magisk is in a position to really slow them down if that bomb radius catches either of them. If they were just a little lower on HP.
Coming.
Yeah.
They're crawling in.
They're on high alert, though. They know he's disappeared.
Oh, what a ridiculous save. Just on the other side of the wall. You've got quiet neighbors, Magis. You don't even know they're home.
Okie dokie. First round on the board, and it starts with an eco opener.
Yeah, that's his first and most impactful kill of the map so far. Who would have thunk? Is that the first of many?
Wasn't that long ago I was proud of myself for asking you about the lowest rated player on Nuke for Falcons.
Ah, yes.
Being Nico.
Yeah, well, look, he's had some up and down times within this jersey, hasn't he? They've had some heartbreaking grand final losses, but considering how quickly they've got there.
Well, exactly. You know, they hit the ground not running, but sprinting.
All right, well, this time doesn't have the follow-through outside, but they've got the response they were looking for. Insani has started down secret immediately.
We
Actually,
talk about
sorry,
this.
red pole, not secret.
Aggressive AWP draws the line and removes Tessus just as easy as that.
Couldn't have come in a better round because it's so lobby-centric right now.
Now you're already walking into a man disadvantage 4v5. Now testing Breno and comfortable onto Monacy. A second is crazy. A headshot, instantaneous deletion. Kixon's removed, and now Nico and Magisk forced to try and come up with a 2-on-4.
Well, they're hoping for an over-rotation, but they don't really need to move too much. Lukowski's already down towards being safe. Here he is again.
Re-sweeping through. Last seen in this exact position, besting Tessus, and he confirms to the boys that it's either heaven or they're coming down ramp.
Well, when Sani's going over to deal with heaven and hell right now, you can see just how curious he is of the possibility. Lukowski is on his own. This rotation is far away.
And Magisk has that bomb with 37 encroaching onto this site. Lukowski staying active. Now that Util drops, their intention is clear.
One's enough.
Lakauzi stays hidden. A single kill would be good. You just need to kill that covering player. It's Nico. Ooh, some damage, but with 96 damage inflicted, Nico flicks.
Tough spot for Nico now. Two going to come through Decon.
If he
He's
could
going to
just
have to
get
be
one more,
sharp.
an extra kill really sets up Magis, but with such low HP, a single bullet can best him. Nade of the door, he unloads, he gets his. Magis, the unknown entity, only so many places he can be. Times it well to engage on the first. Swings on out, isolating Jules! Oh, it nearly came together. A really valiant attempt between the two of them. 2-on-4 goes 1-on-1.
Okay, well, the defuse comes through. Exit will secure that. Might be able to get Safe's AWP back as well. Yep, can grab that just before the time expires. So, well done. They had the man advantage thanks to Breno on ramp. His double kill felt like it should have been more than enough to secure that round, but they gave it a good shot, didn't they? Here it is again in the replay. On board with the over-the-shoulder cam. And the double is beautiful. One, great. The trade, not immediate, as they made the most of this. Tactical timeout called from the T side. Falcons wanting a moment to talk this one over. They do have money for the buy. m0NESY even now equips the AWP. So they can have a full rifle round. Kixin gets the delight of whatever he'd like to call with the conference of Zonic. Stressful time in the Falcons jersey. Looking to bring success to another organization. Vitality Astralis, both thankful for the big man's contributions to their major trophy cabinets. The Falcons hoping to find that same success. Under a lot of scrutiny as well from the community day after day. People preying on the downfall. It's hard to argue with the talent in the server. It hasn't come to play in Austin just yet. But if they survive the day, tomorrow they go into a 2-2. Their opponent, well, the possibilities are endless. All boosted up. Safe this time outside. And he's going to get found.
Lovely work, m0NESY. Just catches that timing. Safe just pulled away, and so on that repeat, m0NESY with the advantage already posted.
Strong position for Insani to find himself in, especially if they try and split into top side late. Brenner's going to poke his nose up secret, so great information. They've sold ramp, okay? They've given it up completely. Oh, and the
it works.
Yeah, well, Magic was just in heart deep, wasn't he?
Okay, well, that's info.
And that's a free kill back, so we're just leveled out to 4v4. That is tough. m0NESY did some hard work there to hit a necessary shot outside, and now it's just a 4v4 situation. Are you really just going to try and walk into A? They've cleared outside. They know that nobody's home.
Oh, this is a tough round for the T side with such little map territory so late into the round.
How far does Breno go?
Exit, burn in, drops down. Tessus puts him in the dirt. Quick drop, vent. Okay, so bomb maneuvering B. m0NESY to try and cover their rotation, stop that vent rotate, but someone just slipped down the vent. Oh, okay. Breno, though, will be the unknown entity. Nico's going to be furious. How is it possible that I'm getting shot in the back of the head? Oh, dear. Breno in the 1v3, goes 1v2, looking for that bomb, sitting in the open. Missed shots from Kixin. How is this going wrong? Throws out an incendiary. m0NESY doesn't like the sound of that. Does he dare push through the flames? He knows it could be a stick, but m0NESY's going to call the bluff. Now there's not enough time on that. He'll have to stay active. Staying for it, 1v1. Mind games, flash eaten, doesn't swing. Breno just holding. Oh, m0NESY overthinking, and Breno brave. Even takes him down after.
The loose piece down the vent and the amount of output there. For a moment he couldn't find the bomb, but sticks the landing, and 6-1 reads the scoreline.
Timeout? We just had one though.
Yeah, exactly. You're not taking another. This should never have been able to happen. Just slinks past, the orbs over towards T vent, comes in, surprise.
How many bullets?
Jump scare.
1, 2,
He can't
3,
find
4,
the
5.
bomb. Oh!
It was the erratic movement of Breno looking for the bomb, like he's like looking left, looking right, crouch, uncrouch. Kixin couldn't track him, and then a very awkward 1v1 from m0NESY.
Well, you were bang on. They did take the tack timeouts. This one's just to screw the head back on, maybe to discuss what went wrong or to try and wash it away, because you're still into map number 2, one to the good, and this is the T side of your map choice, so you have to start slathering on a couple of rounds. I think 4 is probably enough, but at the moment, that means 3 more need to be added to the total. So as long as you don't let the frustrations of that one get to you, you should be able to start whirring back into action now. Get the AWP back out, the AK's in the mix.
What a round out of Breno.
And to think about it, the money's still not great over there on the Brazilian side of the server. Sure, it reads 6-1, but it's min-loss bonus if they do lose the round, and they don't have a lot of leftover cash to work with.
Yeah, just the exception that Lakowski would have a little bit more to work with, but that's it. Okay, well, this time Nico and Monacy working on that early yard fight once more. They break, that's what Monacy was hoping for. Oh, just in the right angle is safe.
Got the better of him.
Yeah, wins it out this time, gets a bit of revenge, and Tessa's just walks straight into his crosshair.
Yeah, reading the default like a book, huh? I know it's a little bit more different on a map like Nuke. It's not as standard as a Mirage or an Ancient in terms of the positions you'd find yourself in. Nico picks up the AWP. That's never a fun sign.
It might be fun if Safe was to go looking for answers, but why would you? It's 5v2. You're holding enough. Just kicks in and Nico. And this was off of... I mean, they've burnt 2 timeouts in this half.
The biggest problem I have with what happened in the last round, then obviously Breno manifested the gap, caused the chaos, as we can see here. Exit denying exactly that. It's just been a lack of opening kills. The one round they do have was Nico getting that AK kill as he slipped through the standard straight wall smokes in front of Red, kills Insani towards main. Then in the last round, Monacy gets the opener, Magis gives one back immediately, and that felt like a bad death to give over. So you've got Safe, Lakowski, and Breno all with 2 opening kills apiece for this CT side. There's a unwinnable 2v5 now gone 2v4. Nico just thinking about... Oh, I thought he was thinking of saving. So are they really going to give this a crack?
I mean, Kixon swings into Breno just as he looked away.
Okay, they're going for it now.
They are giving it a go with 15 seconds left.
Gotta
and no
plant
one's on the
backside.
site. Insani will have to come up the vent. Never, never fun. Nico not covering though. And Lakowski, oh, he nearly found him in the smoke, but it does give him his position away. Nico chips in with another. Kixon set up for a potential clutch. 2 on 5 is a crazy ask. But now a 1v2 feels a little more manageable. Chip damage inflicted. Nade for the encroaching. Chips on Insani. Kixon, that smoke fades, loses his cover, loses his head. MIBR, a solid CT side taking shape now. 7 already under their belt.
Okay, well, the bomb goes down again. The loss bonus is there. You could justify another buy, of course, on the T side, but what are we going to change? You lost a pick there. Monacy unable to beat Safe in back-to-back rounds. Then Tessus was a free kill. It's crazy that they even got the bomb down in this, so props to Nico and Kixon for that. He's showing some frustrations there.
Still got the mic mute etiquette.
Oh,
Time.
wow.
You see that?
What a camp.
Yeah. Just a glance as he swings. Oof. I mean, you can only imagine the level of pressure these individuals are feeling right now on both sides of the server. But certainly, as far as expectations go, Falcons themselves and their fan base expecting a whole lot more of them here.
The big money, big expectations. And that's why they've got some of the biggest players in Counter-Strike. Nico with some space.
Yeah, when I see Nico this far forward, this early into the round, I have expectations of him. Oh, for that kind of action! Straight headshot ahead of the smoke wall.
Beautiful. Okay, so those are the mind games between your yard holders. Boost is perfect.
Yeah, Breno, he's in a prime position, doesn't exercise any restraint, just goes straight for it and is punished. Honestly, swings into the AWP. 3 on 3, has to respect the flame. Decision-making tree is wild right now. Exit, he reveals his position in lobby, smokes the trophy return, and then leave.
Yeah, he's got a lot to worry about. Lakowski's already hedged down towards the B site. He's playing Joker right now, just going to hide behind the single box. Tessus, Nico, and Kixon are going to be able to group up. Nico is worried about, hey, where did that smoke come from, and has he disappeared? So diligent work over towards Squeaky. We can see nobody's home. Exit opting to play behind the CT banner. Might get caught by a timing. Nico sticks the landing.
Yeah, that was a tough spray to commit to. Converts it in half a magazine.
Well, we discussed the finances previously.
Yeah.
And you've already got 7 rounds, so I don't think there's any harm in giving over a second, holding onto your guns, and going again for it in the next. Exit should be able to buy something with the 1400 coming through. And Safe will be able to drop potentially a FAMAS or an MP9, depending on what his teammates want. He already has a belt of utility, so that's quite nice. Lakowski, if he holds onto the AK, that'll be great too. So they'll have at least something to fight for within the next round. But we've been here before. Falcons need to punch through with consecutive rounds to open the bank of cash, at least as far as their side of the server is concerned. It'll force MIBR into eco territory, and that's down the stretch where maybe, just maybe, they could still walk away with 5 in this T side. So really well done. Nico, there's his second opener, and that one was a thing of beauty. When you have a team structured in the way that Falcons are, you need your star players to be able to deliver you this. This is why you set them up. You know, they're, in some cases, calling the way that they're going to go for those fights. I wouldn't be surprised. Actually, I would be more surprised if Kixon said, hey, Nico, can you go get the timing as I throw the smoke? Nico's probably gone, you throw the smokes, I'm going to peek as they're landing. So tactical timeout called first from MIBR, and understandably so. It has been an easy stroll down the sidewalk of the CT side of Nuke. Currently 5 rounds to the good, and it can still get a whole lot better. There's M4 territory as discussed for exit. It's going to be a 5-7 for Breno. Well, it was at least. So indecision in the purchases. Bought in, sold back. Where do we find ourselves? No, he's just gone back into the same buy. Okay. No, they're taking the eco. All right, well, it's like all of us. You know, you go window shopping, you see something you like, you try it on.
Yeah.
Oh, can they make up their mind? I've said it 3 times. They bought, they sold, and they bought back. Okay.
It
is what I thought. Exit with the M4. Famus dropped over to Insani. Breno with a 5-7. Okay.
Now we go. Oh, Nico pays quite the heavy blood price and goes straight down. Okay, that's rapid. And he's not going down secret. He's slipping into warehouse. He's calling that this is unoccupied, and he's bang on. No one red pole.
This is great as well. He doesn't know it, but the AWP started ramp, so he gets so much space for free.
Oh, and it's come clear back. Nico didn't spot him through the grate. I think Exit got that info.
This music is perfect for the situation right now. On board with Secret Agent Nico.
He's got him. That's the info flowing. Comms are good. Kickoff found. Nico in opening death this time, but that's the difference maker. Tessus and Monacy, dispatched to the secret stairs, have managed to find themselves both of the defenders. Safe, likely close by. They know where he was, towards hell.
Yeah, if Falcons rushed that, they could have been picked apart at the seams right there. So I love the fact they've hit the brakes. Jumping back across, Tessus needs to be very, very careful. Another flash, another jump away, and still could be caught. Safe sees him darting away, and they're rerouting completely.
Just trying to get that info safely.
So Tessus in the vent, Magis lobby, and the other two going to poke their head back up the secret stairs. It's Lakowski on top side, highlighted here as the next man to be under pressure.
Yeah, he's got a lot of work to do because he's concerned about Heaven as well, simultaneously as he's going to get potentially walked on. Hart is another threat. Magis makes that clear. Good find onto Monacy. Oh, Lakowski, the one-man army, takes all 4. The Falcons are trying to find something to cling on to, something to hold. And Lakowski's holding his sight strong.
You just see right there how the spacing works against Falcons. The player wrapping around the right side from Lakowski's perspective. You're going to catch it here. Essentially lines up as the hub player comes out. The Danes double up, and that is trouble. There is no trade found. One man in the top side defends it all. That was a broken buy. That was one that had indecision around the purchases. And Falcons, the best they can get now is 4.
Yeah, they're glad they bought after all.
Was one of the saved guns as well. So the time for rounds that Falcons are lost in this one, it was the Breno slip down the vent. Now it's the Lakowski. 4K, A-site, denial. MIBR, they're not giving up.
Yeah, well, understandably, you know. This could be your last map at the Major, and they are doing everything in their power to ensure it is not. Making this CT side flow nicely, as are their communications. A little bit of a lobby flavor to this one. Yeah, Lakowski's coming looking. I think he spotted the barrel of Madness because he pulled away again with the info flowing. He takes full lobby control. But with it being so quiet, the implication is they have to be elsewhere.
Yeah, they're playing some very confident Counter-Strike right now, aren't they? Obviously in the last having to deliver from an anchor position, but this time taking the fight to them, and they know that they got Falcons under this pressure.
Like just straight away, like as the solo lobby holds, suddenly there's 3 CTs walking into your position.
It's almost a bit of a... Oh, hold up a second.
Yeah, because Safe is going to be tested by a little boost.
Easy flick.
Oh, comfortable for him. Puts Nico down. Banging his head off the doorway for that safe info retrieval. And Insani can do the same from Decon, and now they're just rotting that clock. Playing wicked games here with Falcon, just pulling them all across the map. Kicks and reveals their intent. They want to try and finish towards this A site, but Lakowski again making it difficult. You got to get another one of those, Tessus. Heaven is occupied as well. You want to have to plan heaven side. You have to. Insane, he could just deny the plant right there. 7, 6, time is of the essence. No time in the round. Falcons have lost another.
Can he go to enough the time?
He certainly could. He certainly could. He's holding on, fighting for his dear life, safe on the hunt. Does he even bother to pick up the AK? He just wants to focus on living. Didn't want to be condemned. No Kev, no Web. Has anyone ever called a weapon a weapon?
I don't know. We add that new one to the vernacular.
Yeah,
but,
that's a new one.
Great. Look, as he pushes in, deals with Magic, who has been good at anchoring down the lobby position. But this is all too little too late from Falcons, right? These kills are coming in as just this spurt. There's not enough time on the clock, and the frustrations are brewing. They're really struggling on the T side of their map choice.
Yeah, and that's the hard thing. Doesn't matter how much experience you've got when you're in that seeing red state, when the frustrations are just inescapable. That's when those unforced errors are amplified. They carry over, they linger.
This is more harassment towards Yard, just the constant clears, the jarring timings, and it's 5 Galils to finish.
Good angle for him.
Oh,
Wow.
that's an AK, that's a kill.
Wow.
He got first bullet, it was the dink. It was just a Galil, it wasn't an AK.
Yeah, and he pays the price for it, the ultimate price. Okay, now you've got to recover. You ask questions of Breno, who has had a lot of impact already in this half 12 frag deep. And again, he connects. He connects twice at the same time as Lakowski beats out Nico. It's too easy for MIBR right now. They are on elimination game, fighting for their lives, fighting to survive here at Blast TV Austin, and they got 10 in that first half of play. bells continue to ring as Falcons find themselves with only 2 rounds to boast in the first half of play in our second map. This is an elimination game. The fact that Falcons are here is already alarming to themselves, to the fan base, and to the expectations of a Falcons playoff run. There was all this stir around a very clear, defined top 3, top 4. Falcons were in that and seeing to be the only team that could push Vitality, who are coming into this one feeling like it's a shoo-in.
I think if this was behind closed doors, there was no cameras, there was no public eye, and you told them you had to play Bait, Lin Vision, OG, MIBR to go through the next stage, they'd laugh you out of the room. This is worrying. This is only 2 rounds T-side. Sure, they won Ancient, but that was their opponent's map choice, and MIBR have a weak map pool at best.
Oh, it has to start somewhere, and pistols have been a real problem for Falcons. Can Monacy's dual Berettas be set up for success? No! Safe will immediately cut him down after his first. Not the same output we saw from Lakauzi's, and speak of the devil! He finds Tessus, and immediately they recede now. Equipped with Monacy's dual Berettas, he could do it again. He did him so dirty in the first. A very convincing start to MIBR's first half, and doesn't look like it's going to go that way here for Falcons. Quick into the top side through Squeak. Magic smoked off. Kixon needs to hit a hard shot on a jumping safe, and has done so. So it will be 3v3 for this post. Bomb has been planted. They have to wait for Magic smoke to fade before they activate, but they're taking their sweet time, Chad. I don't see a kid.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough retake. It's a late lobby piece as well.
Just got to get a move on now. Makes it very loud as he leaps on out. Lakauzi primed and ready. Very quick deletion of the first. Nice from Magis. Can he get any more? Does so. Just exit. They need to be defusing. Magis has to hold it. Nico has to hit this shot. Falcons, if they want to have hope, a nuke, but he hits it off the defuse. Is that actually going to be? There's no way. There's no way.
Yeah, I don't even know where he was hanging around. He was hanging around out of frustration.
Yeah, that's what that was.
It. The round was done. That is insane that that shot gets hit. I don't quite believe what I just saw in my eyes.
It whistles past Nico's covering face and it hits the diffuser.
Well, this map's over.
Yep. I guess we can stick a fork in this one, but I mean, how? How is this happening?
And you bang on. Nico has to cover. He just has to hit, it sounds simple, a shot. Magis getting these two were beautiful. Just absolutely swings around with the dual Berettas. This is it. The fact that he can even get to that line, that's the problem.
Wow. I mean, that's impact from exit, and it does, yes, surely might signify the end of a very quick nuke. Falcons map pick could be over this quickly.
Oof. Okay, well, the odds are still favoring Falcons, likely for the series, sure. Inferno coming up next.
I didn't think we'd be seeing Inferno, to be honest with you, Chad.
No, but this is just wild. The type of teams that they've lost to, this is the beautiful thing about the majors. A 13-8 loss to Bay, a 13-9 loss to Lin Vision. They lost a map to OG.
Ooh, Nico's Deagle's done something naughty there. That third is crazy. Oh, yeah, he wasn't ready for safe. Still hits one into the belly. Gets him on 50. That retrieval mission could cost Tessus his life if he's not careful. Gets away from the flame.
This is where I hope that the desk is hypercritical of situation. Nico gets 2 kills there, you have a number advantage. What are you doing? Why are you going for one more? Okay, round's going to simmer in. Safe and Breno. Breno's had some impactful moments throughout this. Safe as well with opening kills in the AWP. Famas, it's an MP9, it's a scout. The bomb is across secret side. Nobody's rotated down, but they're not to know that. 30 seconds. A finish will have to be found. If Breno can find a kill or some information, that'll help inform Safe for the finish. He's actually going to get a free timing right now and get this kill in main.
Yeah, I don't think Kixon's at all looking at this possibility. So slips through main. That's
Safe's
what you
back
want.
up.
The trade from Magis, because position is
No
noted.
time.
And with only 10 seconds, he'll have to swing through. Magis lets him. You can go as much as you want, mate. I know the time is against you. 8, 7. He'll just about isolate the duel. Does he fake it? Does he call the bluff? Monacy not playing scared. Pushes him in. And a necessary conversion from the Nico double dig. But why is it so stressful?
Yeah, but this is it. It's a force buy situation. It has to be. The only way that you're going to eke through that one right there. So you don't win a pistol round in this map. You win the force buy back, but now you're going to have to dig yourself out. The bomb doesn't get planted. They will force buy back in because of the loss bonus situation. First two are beautiful. This is one of the things as well, when things aren't flowing, players, especially star players, start to feel like they have to do an awful lot.
Man, I didn't see the time.
longer wondering if Magis knew the time.
He definitely didn't. Okay, well. Looks like they're going to sell a fake towards outside. Breno will have the HE, can blow open the door.
Yeah, whose POV is he looking at?
I think it's the yard player to see how much space that Insani can get before he throws it. So Breno will nade open door. I guess the molly is going to be from main or CT vent. And then it's going to be the other two out hut. So this is to force the rotation. Door now open. Molly in the vent.
Coming in to test this MP9. That's a beautiful trade from Lekowski.
Nobody else is home.
Magis Kumble. He was alone on the site. Good nade. Solid connection. 70 damage is bringing. Kixon gets a good clear onto Insani in the vents. He has to come up still. Nico makes his presence known, trying to draw attention away from Heaven as the two late pieces will arrive. Breno, just a Tech 9 to hold this. Has to be Falcons. And looks like it could be, should be. Exit, however, he's already done it once. Spam him blindly, unloads his full mag. Diffuse comes through from Tessus. And Kixon even gets himself an extra $600.
Well, you can't fault the strategy, can you? It worked perfectly. Yard smokes land, they even molly in the vent, so that was all part of the fake. It's to make it look like what they're trying to do is get a player down secret or maybe multiple bodies and then go for a ramp split. You get down secret, you can strict the vent rotation. If you molly in the vent, the CTs can't drop down to deal with secret in that fastest port of call. And then they come out of hut. Magis got his own. He had to get one kill there to make sure that the retake was at least somewhat favorable for Falcons. Sure, they had the weapon advantage, but they definitely needed the man advantage. Now it will be the eco. 2-0 still on the table, but this is going to be a tough climb. Tessus about to have company on ramp.
Yeah, here comes Lekowski. It's not the weapon you'd want. A deagle walking through a smoke. Yeah, he thinks twice about that. Doesn't seem advisable.
He's been having a good game, him and Breno. Lekowski had two good back-to-back maps. It was him and Insani in map number 1. Right now it's him and Breno. Still not too late for the players like Exit and Insani to activate.
Yeah, Mabiara just going to ask questions of Tessus. Just delayed by that
joining
smoke.
him.
Ooh, just in time. Just in time. Tessus sticking around, unloading. Monacy cleans up. 3 down to the M4 spray. Not even bothering to reload. It's just going to be sidearm to try and finish the job, and finish they shall. Insani's lost his gun. He's lost his gun. Doesn't matter. Lost his life as well.
All right, well, that was just an eco. We'll get back into the rifles now.
Make no mistake, though, MIB are still absolute prime candidates to take us the distance to Inferno here, a 10-2 half.
I love the micro decision here from Kixon. He had an MP9 carried through, but because they're working with such a fine margin of rounds, as you've just highlighted, he has upgraded into an M4, right? Why take any risks on carrying that through? You don't have a lot of rounds to work with. This isn't the first half, this is the second, and you can't risk giving over 12 this early. Nico aggressive, behind the glaive smoke.
Insani and Nico likely to clash. Masked by the smoke and loud. Oh, and Insani doesn't matter. Finds Monacy. He was on top of blue. Just sticking out over the smokes, and Insani, while running, just drive-by kills him.
Nico has to get away from this.
Yeah, they're going to fade pretty soon. A park 1 on red. Catch that secret rotate. Tessus under so much scrutiny here.
Oh, they passed.
Oh, a jump scare for Tessus.
Saw the bomb.
Yeah, and a necessary trade out of Exit.
Forced a big rotation. Magic has hedged down ramp immediately. Nico's now taken the ramp position. Kixon is going to have to worry about everything under the sun. We'll have to eventually worry about them going heaven and hell. He's worried about main. He's worried about heart. He's worried about squeaky. And MIBR can just hit the brakes and let this one simmer. So Kixon takes the round into his own hands, pushes into a safer haven of the squeaky door room, giving them space, but also giving himself less to worry about. Nico also starting to activate. So he's pivoting back, or is he? So coming in through lobby, Kixon needs at least a kill here.
Yeah, but you're surely going to be double swinging this. It's not going to be an easy duel for Kixon. 2 AKs peeking, you know, they crouch walk in. A real golden opportunity for one. Nico the other gets that belated trade onto Exit.
Remember, Magisk is lower.
Yeah, and Breno's been lobby this whole time, just come back down the ladder and waiting for Nico. So Lekowski sideswipes him, and the plant should be uncontested. Lekowski has that bomb on his back. Magisk will slip up the vent and start his crawl. 2 AKs are behind him on that site. And Breno hits the first bullet. That's what you want to be seeing if you're MIBR. They put themselves on 12, and notice this kind of mute celebration. They're not going to be popping off. They know that they've got to win a whole other map after the end of this one, but the fact that the third is even a discussion is a sign, a warning sign for Falcons and their form here. It has not really changed too much from the best of ones.
Yeah, I think one of the keys right now is that you touched upon there is it is quiet, and this matchup hasn't had the same banter or same yelling as some of the other games that have been taking place across Stage 1 and Stage 2. The serious ramifications for this for Falcons is going home so early and not even a position where you're even contending. Both of these teams found themselves 0-2 after day number 1. It was losses to Bay and Lin Vision for Falcons. It was losses to Legacy and Namiga for MIBR. MIBR took down BetBoom to send them home yesterday.
Yeah, Legacy with a 3-0 finish in this stage, doing what Falcons thought they would be.
Yeah, the Brazilian team that's not even meant to be here. It's crazy. That's the Cinderella story of Austin so far. All right, well, back into the buys. AWP for Monacy. You're just going to need, what, 7 rounds in a row?
Oh, is that it?
Crazier things have happened. Oh, the pace on this!
Oh my god, Insani straight in, breaks his legs. And Monacy chips in elsewhere. What the hell? The timing on the Spanic lines up perfectly, and this round just falls immediately apart. In tatters. All over the map, bodies drop.
Okay, well, trying to finish it with pace off the back of the tactical timeout, thinking, hey, what is their response going to be? Let's just try and throw pace in their face to unravel whatever their opening hold is. Safe would be loving some damage right now, but it's tough to see him getting anything. And I think for MIBR going forward, a bit more standard defaulty rounds, as it is all 5 staying alive for Falcons. How many AKs can they scavenge back? Everybody gets one alongside of the AWP, so at least they're as fully equipped as they would hope for. And you may as well be buying in with head armor, get your defuse kits, get all your utility round after round.
Oh, he was so rapid on that. The outside player on Unbreakable is very fortunate. Kixon was so active there. So an impactful round from the captain. Good catch on that pace change.
And it is just going to be 2,400 lost into the next. There's a hero AK for Safe. Everybody else will eco. Now, they did win a round like this on Ancient if you missed it. It was Glocks that did the damage, not the AK-47. So let's see if that can happen again. There is a Deagle. A hand cannon for Insani. Can he find Monacy with the AWP? Will have to be a cracker of a shot.
Ooh, I think Monacy saw the tip of the head on there, on crouch there.
So swept away. Can help fortify ramp alongside a TSS. You know, you have some problems in a round like this if you're expecting lighter fires. It's always a bit more poppy. But now Safe going to try and isolate a 1v1 against TSS before that AWP can help. Suspiciously quiet. That forces a smoke and now a redirect, or at least a hurry up and wait out of the Brazilians. Just one more round. 5 kills, and this one seems like the most unlikely of the bunch.
Yeah, but you'll play for those kills. Doesn't matter how late that clock gets. Respect the smoke, start to accelerate soon. Insani trying to get across, and he's found the gap. This, however, is hell.
Oh.
Nico giving him a sound cue. He doesn't realize what he's just given to Insani, an opportunity. That's enough of a distraction. Comms flowing, now rushing into Tess's spray. That's what you're expecting to see. The hero AK gets nothing done.
Yeah, it's just a tough one there for Nico because that's Counter-Strike timing, right? He starts thinking, okay, there's not going to be anybody outside. I think I'm going to start moving elsewhere to help, and then makes a step. I think he spots maybe the tip of the Deagle, almost gives his life away in that situation. So the Counter-Strike god's not smiling down.
Yep.
Yep, there you go.
That's Counter-Strike.
Okay, well, that was the eco. Now we get the buy. Safe, with the hero AK, will have to operate with something lighter. He gets a Tech 9 instead, but the rest of his team are fully strapped. Can Insani accelerate into this yard space quickly? Oh, negated early by the deep CT Molly. Smoke ball dots across the yard. Nico, as the yard player, will have a lot to communicate, a lot on his plate, and there's a lot on the other side of those smokes.
He's not alone, though. His duo, his partner in crime, Monacy, working on secret stairs early. So this will be a nice opportunity for an AWP. You'd expect to at least get one and fall back. Oh, Madness is going to chip in. All the way from downtown. Committed to the spray, finds Insani through the smoke. And now, if you still want to commit to B, you meet the AWPer. Feels like the setup's poised to be perfect from Falcons. Oh, and even if with the drop, the unorthodox approach, Monacy, he ain't scared. He gets his frag. Nice reaction shot from the sniper.
All right, pivoting back now, Nico Redpole. Good position to deny all of this.
And he stays tucked. He doesn't want to give them the way back in. And that's Kixon covering Nico. Look at the team play. There's synergy on display now. Is it too little too late, though? Don't forget, just one single round. Kixon's a dead man. Exit bowls him over, but swings to his demise.
Okay, well, that is the first 2 kills for MIBR in the last 3 rounds of play. Those remove 2 AKs from the board, so they're not going to have those to work with, but it will be another partial investment now from MIBR. Now, they shouldn't be worried too much. See, with this kill here, it looks great, but it's on Insani. So the problem with that is you've taken down the standard outside crawl player anyway, so you don't exactly know what to expect.
Good point.
So as soon as Monacy kills Lakauzi and then understands there's more, at that point, Falcons get a better understanding of the picture, the strategy that the Brazilians are called in with. And they are going to take their second tactical timeout. Now, they've got 1 more of those to burn. Take a look at the top left of your screen. You can see Falcons have nothing. And, well, they're not even going to get a chance to take it unless...
Falcons keep going.
Yeah, well, look, if we get into overtime, we know that there'll be replenishments of tactical timeouts. This is where you hope in the lab that you have a great pocket strat, right? You know, what type of set piece have we calculated? Last time, they brought out the lighter buy. They did the outside smokes. They got Insani across. They mollied it into the vent, and they actually just left Magisk on his own towards the top side. So you could throw a similar pattern of util, and they actually have the util to do the same thing again, but you could have a different finish.
Okay, yeah, clearing 10 off the rib. Set piece. Imminent. Ooh, and a little bit of damage just through the corner of the box. It's confirmation there's bodies outside, and
nice
plenty of bodies now. Tagged up by that HE. A little bit of flak damage, re-smoking, and oh, he was holding. Monacy, good awareness, and spam from Nico. Removes the threat.
That was easy.
Yeah, there is no 1B. You know, there is perhaps a chance for Safe to get this bomb down uncontested. I think the ramp player might be able to get... No, he's planted Safe.
Okay, well, you take the $600.
Thank you very much.
It's just going to be Breno, so very late to this. Unlikely to find anything whatsoever as the diffuser's already been stuck. Mad just down towards the lower deck as the last man standing will just have to saunter on out. He's got the Kevlar, it's all good. He's going to be able to upgrade into head armor, no dramas, so all good in the hood because, again, there's still plenty of rounds to work with. 3 more, though, to complete this comeback and take us into OT.
You go down 0-2, you go down 10-2, like you just... Falcons just doing it on hard mode at the moment.
Want to get in as many reps and rounds as possible, apparently.
Right, yeah, it's all Zonic's plan.
All
you know?
part of the plan.
Get them all warmed up.
All right, well, that plant has actually facilitated a safe AWP. And he's even got the trimmings, some util, some head armor, all the goods. Can it be the difference maker?
Oh, Monacy's under so much pressure.
Oh.
He still gets one. Down the vents with the bomb, though. That's an awkward one for the CTs to manage. He's done very well to survive the nade barrage.
So quick.
Yeah, but look at the lobby hold. Exit lingers. Catches Kixon quick to it. Lakauzi will not be forced out. A missed incendiary. He still has a vantage point. Behind the site, can pivot between
ramp.
them. They're all coming and channeled through that narrow choke of ramp.
Bomb's already almost halfway gone.
Yeah, this is already looking like it could be the last round on Nuke. MIBR, have you done enough? Is there anything from Falcons on this retake? Couple of pieces of util, well placed. Breno reveals himself as he spams away at the control side smoke.
Gotta get a move on, boys.
They're advancing. They need to be defusing. Look at the time. They've got to get on that bomb. Lakauzi catches another. Nico doing his best. Molly towards the bomb site. Nico fragging up the storm, but Exit's done it. MIBR take us the distance. The Falcons are on death's door 2. Loser of Inferno's going home. World number 2 versus Brazilians, and the Brazilians take us the distance.
A vent dive is going to send Falcons to hell. The insanity of that call, the damage done to Monacy still finds one, but they get that bomb clan and quick smart, and we'll call that a quick one from MIBR. Dominant in the first, not so much in the second, but that buffer around, it was beautiful.
The Brazilians with resilience. What a way to be closing that one out. Inferno will decide who is heading home here from the Blast TV Austin Major. But man, talk about a rebound from MIBR.
Good job by MIBR. I mean, I think they actually played really great on Nuke. They came off get-go, I think it was a 10-2 half. I think they played really great. Like, they had a little bit of a struggle closing it out, but you had the individual at Lakauzi having some impressive rounds.
Very impressive rounds. We spoke about it. Lukowski coming into this game, we said and highlighted he's been the well-playing player for MIBR throughout the tournament. So if they wanted to make a comeback, it had to come from him. Bueno as well had a good showing. Insani with a couple of moments. I think we got to give credit to MIBR. And yes, I agree, they played good Counter-Strike, but Falcons, man, I don't know what the hell they're doing. We're going to show you a couple of rounds where we feel like that's where they're losing it. But overall, it just seemed like they're shaky. Like, I thought it was a day one thing, but no, it's Falcons not playing good Counter-Strike.
I think the retake was like the last round we got to see like the retake. Like the bomb was even like halfway gone before they even started the retake, and the retakes was something I touched upon yesterday as well, and the day before that it just looks so slow. And like you can see, like the vent dive call here from MIBR to actually speed up things was really good. And they get down vents without actually getting contested too much. They get the bomb down pretty early. The lobby crunch does not work. Exit actually plays off super well. And then you can just see the retake. Like the bomb is always about to explode. And at this point, no, even a molly dropped the bomb. There's no way back from that.
It's the reaction and lack thereof and hesitation and maybe, I guess, the fact that they are a little bit stubborn in their way of playing. You know, they're stubborn in the sense that, yeah, we have to do a retake all four together and we have to group up, we have to wait for the utility. But fact of the matter is MIBR is rushing out the door in the beginning of the round, which means they have all the utility in the world to hold Falcons at bay. And at that point, someone got to make the decision that we have to get in before that utility goes down. Otherwise, you lose your window of opportunity. 9 out of 10 times, I'd say Falcons, Nico, Monesi, those players, they realize that in the moment, but they're hesitating right now, and I don't know why.
Lars was talking about that ambush, you know, starting it for Falcons, just coming into yesterday. But that was just a pure ambush of utility coming out from MIBR, perfectly timed as well. I think we've got another example of that when we go back to round number 7. This is Breno with a beautiful clutch, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a beautiful clutch, and I love the fact that he's the one keeping his composure. I love the fact that in round 7, he seems like the more experienced player. Again, Exit makes a bit of a mistake. Tessus gets a nice kill, drops down the vents. I like what I'm seeing right here from Falcons, to be completely honest. They get down, they get the bomb down as well. It's a 4v2 at this point. Now, Breno is in behind enemy lines, and he is that cost of money. He got the first kill. He didn't realize someone was coming from behind. It's still a 1v2 at this point. He doesn't realize where the bomb is, and then the guy on ramp panics. He swings out, kicks, and misses a free kill in the side of Brennan, and I'm pretty sure that we don't get to see it from Kixon's point of view, but it's not pretty. Molotov goes down, Flash comes in for Monesi. He doesn't bite the bait. I thought the second time he faked and didn't stick to it, that was the opportunity. He then the third time goes for it, and Monesi doesn't buy into it. This round, look at the scoreline as well. 6-1 for MIBR. Had Falcons won this, it would have been 5-2. There would have been no money in MIBR. Falcons would guarantee themselves 3, maybe 4, maybe 5 T-side rounds, and I'd be like, yeah, they're going to win this game. CT-side is going to be fine. But that was the moment where MIBR bought the ticket back into the game.
And this is where you see, like, sure, the clutch from Brennan was extremely well, but then at the same time, we touch on Ancient as well, that Falcons can have situations where they just look completely silly. And, you know, sure, the clutch is more like on the individual players, and obviously Kixon from Ramp is clearly missing. But the fact that he wins this round, and he looks completely out of it when he goes, I cannot find the bomb. You know, it looked like it was going to go in the way of the Falcons, right? But that just also proves the whole idea that Falcons can play so good, but they can also look so silly.
Why do you think Monesi didn't repeat in that situation? Because like he taps the bomb so many times, you know, he's fully blind at one point whilst he's sticking it. Why wouldn't you repeat in that situation?
There's obviously the case that we didn't get to see how much HP Monesi had in that situation. If he was low HP, obviously he would have picked in the molly. Maybe he didn't even have time to get the shot off. Maybe he would have just done it instantly. So Brennan could have just stuck to the fuse, but I think the damage that was done to Monesi was probably unknown from his side. So the fact that Monesi throws out the flashbangs, you know, to try and get a reaction, like Brennan he sticks the bombs a couple of times before he realized that, okay, now I only have this option kind of to stick it.
But he's never touched the bomb right here. Monesi can definitely hear if he's touching the bomb right. Monesi and Kixon have to communicate. Why would Kixon ever peek out from ramp? But why would he ever peek out from ramp?
Wasn't he 98 HP?
Yeah. He was on 98
Monesi was 98 HP actually.
Okay.
I was called agreeing that he was, but he was not apparently.
Doesn't matter. Whatever. Why would Kixon ever peek out from ramp before Monesi tells him he peeks the bomb? I know the bomb is planted behind, and Kixon is maybe afraid that he's left out behind. But at that point, it's a very simple 1v2. Monesi have to be the first point of contact. If he sticks the bomb, Monesi will check. If he doesn't, then Kixon can stay alive and then move in. He peeks out before that happens. Not only does he miss the kill, you know, mechanical failure, missing an aim duel. We can't really blame him for that. That can happen to any player out there. It's more so the lack of communication between the two players that I hate. This is not Falcons. That's not the second best team in the world playing Counter-Strike right there. They're losing to a player who cannot find the goddamn bomb, looking left, right, and center, and they make it look silly.
I know we're looking at the minutia of that particular round.
Well, they're losing.
For good reason, because we like to get nerdy with it. But let's look at the wider context of this situation. Now, once again, Dupree, Falcons 1 map away from being eliminated in stage 2.
this is not where they find themselves. Like, this is not where they're supposed to find themselves. You know, like I think that the win on Ancient, for me, it felt like it was this is us bringing it back into the tournament. Like we got a comfortable win on a map that we feel comfortable on. Now we're just gonna go to Nuke and take it. But obviously we also saw like weaknesses from Falcons playing its OG yesterday on Nuke. So for them to find themselves now going up against beyond a third mob of Inferno, it's obviously going to be difficult for them. But at the same time, they're also just like they have to win it.
Yeah, well, MIBR, they do equalize the scoreline, which leaves us down to Inferno. One more map to see if Falcons will be eliminated here at the Blast TV Austin Major. Falcons knocking on death's door, and it all comes down to that third and final decider of Inferno. This, Jacob, this separates Falcons from potentially one of the earliest exits we've seen of one of the favorites coming into the Austin Major.
And I feel like we've been there before. Where we had that scenario happen against OG as well. They survived against OG. We think to ourselves, what the
Is it a bat? Is it a plane?
No, it's an eagle!
No.
It is
no.
actually a falcon,
Oh.
kinda.
What?
I decided that I needed to show my inner support for Falcons, so now I'm here. I have been degraded from being a player to now being the team mascot.
Is this like still in your contract for Falcons, or?
Actually, I'm not contract anymore. This is out of my free will.
Oh, okay. Do you come with any words of wisdom, Mr. Falcon?
I made a poem for them, going, Falcons fly, Falcons fall. Do you know who's gonna save us all? Monacy.
Monacy.
Yes.
You're predicting Manassi, Mr. Falcon. Is he coming back for Inferno? Is he back? Is he really back?
He is back. He's never been missing. Like, Manassi is here to play. Like, he's the one that's going to bring Falcons back.
You do have
2-1.
such a massive brain
I
in
do,
that
right?
debris.
I actually have a beak up here as well. Anyway, how do you guys feel about this game?
I'm feeling all kind of ways right now. How about you two?
I can't believe I get shit for saying MIBR has the coolest shirt in here, and then you show up in that, and you probably get praised.
We should make a poll who has the
Why I
greatest
can?
shirt.
Oh, sure. It's like
It's
air-floating?
inflatable. Yeah, it's
inflatable.
inflatable.
Yeah, it fits you really well, Mr.
I can
Falcon.
hear the inflatable coming in your ass right now.
I
Right,
can't
that's cool.
believe you've eaten Dupree, Mr. Falcon. It's just crazy.
No, but I
scenes.
mean, like, when things get hectic, when things get to a point where you need to pull out like the most crazy stuff, that is what I needed to do. You know, I needed to show much. But I have two of my best friends playing in South Factory. We cannot have them
do
eliminated
you want to
now.
go, like, maybe just run down there?
I don't want to go interfere with the players. I don't think I should go that.
Sure?
I think that would be bad. They're in a position where they need to focus.
they're in full
don't take the
focus.
focus away from them, Freya,
They're in
please.
full focus position. What are they saying coming into this Inferno?
Yeah, try to be
Considering
serious,
they could be
Peter.
eliminated.
Try to be a bit serious, will you?
Well, the fact is that now they're going into Inferno. They are in a position where they need to win to advance. You know, otherwise they would not be shocking up in this one. You know, that there is not a case where we do not see Falcons advancing. Do you actually think I would pull up in this kind of thing if it wouldn't be a case?
Your head is so big that I don't get it. Like,
But this is because I'm so smart.
You do have such a big head.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay, we're looking at Manassi, Mr. Falcon. Why should we be looking at Manassi, Mr. Pimp?
clearly because he's the best player on the server, right, Peter?
Yes.
Yeah. Any
alongside
other reason?
Nico. Well, alongside Nico, Magisk, Sonic as well, like all of them, Tessus even.
Yeah, I mean,
Vixen,
you're just
let's
saying
not
player
forget him.
names right
Mastermind.
now. Yeah.
I've gotten to a point where I'm annoyed now. You know, I'm annoyed at Falcons. I'm annoyed at the fact that they don't live up to our expectations. So at this point, you know, they may as well lose. Send them home. Send them out. You know, let them fly wherever the hell they want to fly.
You and I, we're gonna have a battle in the green room. That's
Yeah,
Because
but
it's so serious.
Yeah.
Are we actually going to see Falcons go home, though?
no, I mean, if they win, right, there's a chance Peter will show up in this shit again tomorrow. So at this point, we just need to get him out.
What are you talking about? It's a Falcon, Jacob.
It's an eagle. Oh.
I need to be super serious here, but this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Okay, is it happening? Are we going to see the demise of Falcons? Like, we've been on this precipice before, right? We've been in the exact situation yesterday. They gave us faith when we went into that third, but now it's a bit topsy-turvy, right? But surely, we look at Inferno.
Surely.
There's Nico, who I would say is the new king of banana.
Have you yes, as you just mentioned, have you seen how Nico goes and take banana control? Like, he's like the god. He's like Freiburg evolved. How do you feel about that one?
I lost faith. I think MIBR is going to win, and I also do want to contest what Chad and Alex said just before. I stand by my statement. My eyes are fucked in every possible way. Colorblind is not one of them. I think the MIBR jersey is cool.
So that's why we shouldn't trust your take on MIBR. In all seriousness, no. We are coming into
You
such
can.
dire straits. I actually can't keep it together. We're coming into such dire straits, though, for Falcons. This is a team that we're looking at and going, okay, prior to this, you've only lost to Vitality, you've only lost to Mouse. Are we actually in a situation where they're going to lose to MIBR?
And honestly, here's why I'm pissed, you know, because they can always go out after the tournament and say, yeah, we knew we came in as a deadline. And we know the rumors, we know that Kyusuke most likely is coming in, and the excuse will always be, yeah, we knew we were going to change afterwards, right? That doesn't make it excusable. That doesn't make it okay for Falcons to be struggling this much, but that's why I'm getting slightly annoyed, you know. They don't play good Counter-Strike. They're not exciting right now, and that's what I always felt that I would get from the Falcons or the Eagles or whatever the hell they are. But at this point, I'm getting annoyed to a point where I think MIBR are good enough to beat Falcons, so I hope it's going to happen.
Mr. Falcons, would you like to send us to the commentators to get the show on the road?
Who's commentating?
Chad and Alex.
All right, cool. So, Chad and Alex, can you bring it on? Let the Eagles, the Falcons fly high.
I don't even know what type of bird it is.
Yo, I'm impressed.
This is very serious.
Yeah, it is a very serious time. I don't know why we're all playing fun and games over there. Actually, Jacob isn't. Jacob's taking it
He's
seriously.
pissed.
He's not happy.
He's not happy at all.
He's giving disappointed dad energy.
How is Nico part of two rosters in back-to-back majors that are both dead on arrival?
I don't know, man. That doesn't make sense. It does not compute. We're all coming into this one expecting Falcons to fly into the final day. However, MIBR have got us into Inferno. A solid performance from them, and a solid performance from our analysts, I have to say. Loved a costume.
Yeah, here's a nugget for Mr. Falcon. The brain of a falcon is relatively small compared to its body size, but it's proportionally larger than other birds of similar size.
Oh, well, now you said it like that.
In the bird world, it is a large brain, but a small brain for the body.
Proportionally.
Proportionally.
Yeah. Okay. I think proportionally I've got quite a large body.
Compared to
other birds
of a similar size.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, let's get underway.
Well, 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 what do we have here? Double Molotov, a lot of investments into util.
Oh, and I'll tell you what we have. MIBR 3-1 in the pistol department so far.
Yeah, not in a good way. Oh, MIBR, yes. Sorry.
MIBR. Falcons
1 and 3.
in the pistol department.
That isn't pretty.
And the fact that Tessa starts with the Goosh immediately will limit his inquisitive options. It's going to be a B execute into 3. Nico, Magis, Kixon. Can you defend this one?
I mean, if they're doing a double molly exec, Magic's position won't be flushed out. Nico likely will have to take first contact, but it blocks smoke ready. Throws it out as they throw out 2 of their own.
There's a HE from Breno to clear this.
Here come the mollies. They're not slowing down. They are going to commit to this. Kixon has a sight line over that coffin position, draws attention to himself, but the flashes are good. Layered nicely. There's Kixon, but it's Breno that opens the sight with 2. Forced away, low HP. Another pistol imminent for MIBR.
Remember, Tesla's got Goosh at the start of the round, so I don't even know how you get back
Save
into
your
this.
Kev. I mean, what have you got? You got Monacy, the only real kind of possible healthy member of the squad, coming back in to a lost bomb site.
Kixon's the only one that I would say can go for some frags because he doesn't have Kevlar to work with, but he's looking like he wants to usher out of town as well. Monacy hanging around to escort him, and that's just a limit, $300 going the other way. So, throwing the towel on the pistol round. This one's done like a dog's dinner. 1-0 start for MIBR yet again. And there you go. Kixon will grab another kill. If he could have made it a third, that would have equaled a silenced M4. Actually, either M4, but...
yeah, what are you talking about? You're an A4 stand.
I know, but normally they go for silenced M4.
You're right. Well, Breno hasn't slowed down, has he? Of course, big impact. Des discussed his impact on Nuke.
Yeah, questioning Monacy's decision-making in that clutch. Actually, Kixon's as well, so... putting them under the microscope.
Here he comes, into the site, and immediately dispatches of the 2 defenders.
It looked casual there from his perspective, didn't it?
He's calm.
Well, he was actually removed from this roster and then brought back on, right? Remember, Breno got replaced for Lakowski. Brought back when they got rid of Drop. Putting Exit back in the in-game leadership shoes. This is going to be a force buy back in from Falcons. They won one of these on Nuke. Aggression.
Yeah, very aggressive. Up the guts of middle, escorted by that Monacy scout. Now the flash. Oh, he's jumping. Oh, Exit was blinded off. Just gets vision in time. Magis 1. Good work from Kixon. It's really not easy for Insani. They know where he is, and they've got him low.
It's the bomb, though, that's down at the feet of the final 2.
Yeah, his options. There is almost no way for Insani to win this. Trying to scavenge any additional util he can find. Another smoke takes his place. He's just going to have to make a Hail Mary maneuver. Hope the flash catches his opponent. And Monacy, oh my God, goes down. Oh, and he even connects another bullet. How does that one come down to such a close exchange? Kixon, with 3 kills in the round, has sorted the Falcons out.
Yeah, Kixon and Magis combined there. So, sure, another pistol lost, but another force by win. Problem was they couldn't keep that going on Nuke, so... see what they can pull out of this. I can't believe Exit gets a chance to recover there. So the timing of that flash maybe a little bit early with the pathing that was coming through. Exit did very well to avoid just instant death. Something gets an AK. Tech 9s for everybody else. So
always a threat.
I don't think you can go fast in this round.
They might
Apparently
disagree.
you can.
They really disagree. Kixon, they all line up for him, but he gets absolutely nothing done, and the B site's open. Oh, this is a catastrophe. Weapons fall into enemy hands, bomb sites lost. You're already panicked, flustered, you spot someone, but you've got an MP9, and you still make it work. That's a nice find from Tessus.
MIBR clearly do not care who you are in the server right now. They are happy to play in-your-face CS. That's smoke. Is it Coffins? Is it CT? All right, that's the right choice, as we can see.
Oh, and you can see that really limits their retake options now. You're either pushing through the smoke.
And their retakes have sucked.
They really have.
Again, it's down to the wire.
Yeah, you want the second round force, and now you're in trouble. Maybe not, because Magis, the hero Falcons needed. He runs into the site, burns out one, headshot foul, trying to spam through the smoke. It wasn't far off, you know.
Still going to be damn close on that defuse, isn't it? It will come through, but...
Bro, that was so unbelievably close. I don't want to like be critical of Kixon because he did just get completely owned by this Tech 9. But like it feels like you're due a couple when I see the util, I see the damage, I see them line up for him.
No, I agree. I'm very surprised how easy that was. So the B defense bowed out in a big time there. The bomb goes down again.
I swear, like Magisk is really keeping Falcons in it with some of his impact.
And apparently energy as well.
Yeah,
you can
right.
see him there trying to bring that. And they know that they're up against the wall once more.
I think he's one of those guys that's just very much a big game player. Like he does he handles pressure. It only makes him a better player.
Well, part of the storyline that we haven't even really gotten to touch upon because they've been losing so much is the fact that Magisk is chasing down Mr. Dupree's record.
That's right too.
He might be able to level up the playing field. The only other man who could be getting 5 majors under his belt. They both did it together in Vitality. They got 1-3 together in Astralis. There's pop flash through middle.
See? Lovely. This one's textbook.
I tell you what's concerning the most about last round is one thing that you would back Falcons in for is their individuals to play heads-up Counter-Strike, and heads-up Counter-Strike is just taking duels, which is exactly what they got offered in the last round. I know it was against armored opponents with Tech 9s, etc., but still, to get so little from Kixon and Nico is inexcusable.
But is that not how we sometimes categorize Brazilian Counter-Strike? It is very kind of, we welcome aggression, there is some heads-up nature to it.
Well, definitely with Legacy. I think MIBR have definitely been back and forth between different types of CS that they'd like to play.
Okay.
Same with Furia. They've really been chasing their identity. Obviously, we knew that it was crazy with Art as the in-game leader, but they've definitely tempered since then.
He's not scared, is he? Going to quickly boost up. Over the half-wall smoke. Okay, Nico. Proactive.
Does seem scary because Insani could part through those smokes and be directly under them. He is backing off, so we can see no harm, no foul, but it is quite worrying there. So Nico will dismount.
Yeah, thinks twice about
Look at how far forward Brenner was in apps. He was already up in the choke of apps. He's walking away, right? He had so much space within that round already. So it's only 2 players on B. Nico and Kixon. Rotation is either Monacy or Tessus. Everybody going to congregate in Banana now. That nade well placed. Here they come.
Yeah, okay, Kixon. Nico. Crossfire tested. Held. Perfect! Again, empty hands for the B defenders.
Save.
That looks too easy.
It is. It does. And another slow start from Nico. Said it's 3 maps in a row now. 0 and 7, I believe he was on Ancient. I think he was 0-4, 0-5, something along those lines over there on Nuke. And, well, he's 1 and 4 at the moment. And again, it's his bomb site that's exploited. So expecting an A play with the 3 individuals holding the A site, but you can see the corpses littering B, just the remnants that was, as this one is secure. 3-2. Money for the buy.
And that B bomb site as a CT, it is like a very nuanced affair, is it not?
Look at Owsy. Not what he's looking at. That's a couple of peppers or capsicums or whatever you want to call them. But he's got a smile on his face. He's having a sip of the drink, a casual round. And this is the thing. MIBR or any of these teams, OG as well yesterday, even though it was heartbreaking for the youngsters, they had 3 major rookies within that roster. To lose to Falcons, you're drawing against one of the top teams in the world. So you're getting a free swing at maybe not the king, but definitely the prince.
Yeah.
And what have you got to lose? Look at this. Everyone... He's not sitting at home taking a sip of the beverage. It's on land.
But there's no way, like, humans don't have, like, a reset button. You can't just go to, like, Nico and just say, hey, can you just, you know, forget about it, start fresh, new day.
It's to see if they can install one, huh?
Yeah, well, he's stewing in it. It's not what you want to be seeing in a 3rd map for your survival at the major.
They were hoping this conditioned a 3-player B start. It hasn't. 3 on A for Falcons to shut this down.
Okay. Exit doesn't reveal its position, doesn't get caught by the incendiary on its initial spread. That's an initial excursion gone wrong. Lakowski pokes his nose into Monacy.
Sunny up Banana. He might just try and look for a fight against Kixon. Tessus calls mid clear, or at least for the space that he was able to garner. And yep, look at that. Insani knows he needs to try and level the field.
Immediately you see that rotation forced.
Yeah, and that's not a lot of pressure really, is it? It's just one player. Everybody else is still bearing down on A. Breno and Apps, the other 2 in the choke of mid, and Insani starting to saunter back down Banana. For the finish, couple of smokes, couple of flashes, could just be Long and Moto, go, pop into Monacy and Magisk, and if they don't get kills between them, the other 3 are on B. So right now, MIBR calling up a storm.
Yeah, Falcons getting tossed around, just completely manipulated.
Good block, really good block.
45, does that channel them up the arch side? No, they'll nade and go. Swinging short, multiple bodies. Magisk, can he deliver once more for the Falcons? The answer is no, a resounding no! Same story, different bomb site. Insani this time with 2. Doesn't matter about the loss of Lakowski apparently. Faked out by 1 guy top Banana.
Yeah, and they pulled so many resources across. So right now, Falcons feels like they're trying to do too much in response to this.
Holy moly, dude. I'm just processing what we could be witnessing by the end of this map.
Yeah, and this is Falcons coming into the major as one of the top dogs alongside of Vitality, Mouse, and Spirit. That's your top 4 in, well, any particular order after Vitality. I just saw a photo on Twitter, Cycron, with the boys in a facility right now watching this very match, and they're another team who'd be happy to see Falcons getting sent home early. Had some back and forths with them throughout this season.
Terrorists win.
And I would just reflect on Rio, where Monacy and Nico in G2 weren't even able to qualify for the major. This is stage 2. They would rightfully think that their spot at the table is with the big boys, not even in the top 16, but the playoffs. With the way that this season has unfolded, we've had 10 Tier 1 events up until this point. The VRS season, the first time, 2025, the change, the shake-up, the new world order, and Falcons, within the later stages of that, have pegged themselves as the world number 2. Before that, Mouse was in the conversation. Coming into the new year, it was Spirit off of the Shanghai major win, but it's been Vitality dominant.
I mean, what a final that most consider, it should have been a Falcons victory in Melbourne.
Yeah, they had him down. They had him out. It was a crazy comeback on Nuke.
It certainly was. And yet now, oh how the mighty have fallen. They find themselves here. A third map getting double entried by Brazilians, swinging you up short. It's a good sign of life from MIBR. If they want to see another day of play, they need more of that from Insani, more of that from Breno. Nico and Kixon also need to...
Положи.
Ты там некуда.
Окей.
Там просто пиздец полный.
Бэм.
Вытряхни, пожалуйста. Всё?
Ты спать? Пиздец, надо всю проверять. да. Ты чё, уж байки хочешь? Байки-бабайки?
Это вкусно, да?
Ну да.